As I go from me as soon as possible behind the game, you probably have the best chance of winning since he originally said I did not see you. Probably the weaker case of the three. I appreciate the input, chatter. When you man fits with 50 Cent theme. Let's see. FIFO Reserve, thank you for the 8-monthly subscription. Woofy Loves Low Fi, thank you for the 2-monthly subscription. Finn, thank you for the Prime. What up, y'all? Thank you for the 2-monthly subscription, and a cap for everything for the tier 1. Much appreciated. All right. Pick it up, bro. You cooked, you're right. I think you mean I cooked because of my sick outfit. Got him. Freedom Lover 911. W. Freedom Lover 911. Okay, here we start with this. I think it's so funny. Here, okay. So we'll start with the context. Apparently, here, let me pause. Okay, it's not letting me. Oh, my computer's kind of frozen. Pause. Apparently, Ethan Klein posted this on his Instagram story yesterday. He said, "Good evening. I've been thinking deeply about everything going on, specifically about the accusation that I'm a misogynist for suing 3 women. You are all correct. It's not been fair. That's why I've decided to add Shauna Black to the lawsuits for gender equality. Shauna, be sure to thank all your snarker friends for their constructive advice." 3, he decided to see you on his 40th birthday. Hey. It basically means Ethan's my son. You go live on YouTube? I did go live on YouTube. I'm pretty sure I'm live. I'm pretty sure I'm chilling. Terry, what's up? You came at a time where Ethan Klein is apparently going to sue me for something. Bro should be banned from lawyers. Bro, lawyers love Ethan. Honestly, I respect it. For a miserable life that man must live. I don't get it. But yeah, imagine, okay, chat, let me set the stage for you. Imagine you turn 30 years old, right? Sorry, 40 years old, excuse me. Jeez Louise, he's too fucking old. Imagine you turn 40 years old, right? You got a wife that you met in an apartheid state, and you have some kids. I don't know how many kids he has, and I don't really care, right? You have children, right? You have progeny, right? People who look to you for guidance. It's your 40th birthday. You're on what is essentially PTO from your job, right? A vacation, right? And you spend that entire time yelling about leftist content creators on the internet. Daddy, who's Shauna Black? The worst person to ever exist. But also, I don't know him. It is also kind of funny because, like, I haven't really talked about Ethan Klein much for the past, like, 2-3 months. And so it's not productive. So honestly, you can probably read it as, takes like 5 seconds to post an Instagram story. Chatter, if you're 40 years old and it's your birthday, and you're posting, like, not just one, right? But, like, 60 Instagram stories. Like, if you think that that's like the sign of a mentally well person, I genuinely, I wish you well. You know what I did on my birthday, chat? Not post Instagram stories about Ethan Klein. I did not do that for my birthday. I did bong rips. W. I smoked weed. I smoked mad with the homies. W. I usually eat cake and stuff for my birthday. W. Um, Imagine defending the wife guy with the wife memorial tattoo of his IDF wife was assigned to him during birthright. He's not with his kids. Yeah, maybe that's an issue. You know, maybe you should think about that a little bit. Right. The fact that I occupy more space in Ethan's mind than his children do. Right. I don't know if Ethan doesn't know. Right. He's not my father. Doing blackface does not make you black. So we are not related. I know he might be confused. Right. Just because we use the same words, maybe that starts with N, does not mean he's one of us. Yeah, well, it's just like Star Wars. Got a 3-day vacay. That's completely normal. It chatter. If you think this is completely normal, you know what? I'm gonna ban you for your own sake. You know, maybe you could take a 3-day vacation, and hopefully your mind is not occupied by me banning you. You know, hopefully you go, you hang out with your family, you do things that you enjoy, like normal stuff. I'm giving you vacation, chat. I'm forcing you to take PTO. Right. I'm forcing you to take PTO. But yeah, so this was posted yesterday. I was like, I think it was only posted in Discord, right? And I was just like, this has to be Photoshop, right? But I went and checked the notes. Actually, it's a real thing that he put. First story, yep, Keenstar is right. Posted about Hassan and Zohran, right? And this is the story. So it's real, it does exist. Right? And then he posted his dog for some reason. It's like, did you get served papers yet? This happened like 9 hours ago. I don't think so. Because I missed something. But yeah. So I don't know if he's serious. I don't know if he's legitimate. I don't know if he's memeing. Who knows? Only time will tell. What exactly he's swinging for? No clue. I have no idea. He can't stand the thought of sinking into irrelevant. Yeah. And he's doing this because he realized that people just aren't taking him seriously. That's why he did the first lawsuits, right? This is why he's doing this one. He's trying to pull like Hassan into this conversation, number one, which I don't even think he should get involved, by the way. Because that's what Ethan wants. Right? I think even with this, right, the support should be for the people getting sued, right, for the victims of Ethan's harassment. And past that, let it rock. Right? If I need something from y'all, I'll ask for it. Right? If I need support with legal funds, I'll ask for it. Right? If I just want y'all to support the victims wholesale, Casey Tron, Denham's, Frogan, I'll ask for it. Other than that, you know, don't feel the need to like go to battle on my behalf, you know. And I'm gonna get shitters in the chat. I'm gonna get shitters in the my replies on Twitter. Let it rock, right? If it don't bother me, it shouldn't bother you. You know? That's what Ethan wants. Ethan wants this back and forth. Ethan's trying to swing his dick around, being like, I have so much money to spend. I have so much money to spend, right? And I can, he gets off at seeing people like scared, right? Like, there's a reason why Casey Tron being vulnerable on her stream is getting posted everywhere, right? That's what he wants. It's what feeds him. It's what feeds these shitters, right? Don't give it to them. Don't. They want the back and forth, right? So you spend your time, which this is exactly what I was saying before as well, right? I've been saying this for weeks, even before this happened, right? You should spend your time supporting uh supporting the victims instead of trying to like enact righteous justice on their behalf. Not saying let people, talk shit or whatever. Not saying let people run with disinformation, but like pick your battles, Don't feed into this complex that Ethan clearly wants. He wants the back and forth. He wants me to be talking about this right now. Right? In his mind, he wants me to be scared. He wants me to be afraid. He wants people to bring his name back up, right? Because that gives him more content. So don't give him that content. I think because she's taking it seriously, man, it could ruin people. 100%, right? 100%. But my take is that Ethan wants that fear. He feeds off of that fear. I'm not chastising Casey Tron or Denims or Fogan for having the reaction that they have, right? But I'm just saying that he wants y'all to continue to engage with him. That's why he's doing it. He wants to exert control. So don't let him have that control. So this is response is a healthy response to the whole situation as a content creator. It's something that shows your emotional intelligence and level-headed mess about drama online. I mean, what else am I supposed to say? You feel me? Talk about how destructive this is for me and how much this is going to ruin my life. That's what he wants, right? He wants to see how much this is how much this scares me, right? How scary this is for me. He wants to see that fear. He gets off on that fear. I share his shit and give it to him, right? He can get that shit from someone else, right? If they're gonna clip me, they're gonna clip me looking fly as fuck, and they can cry about it. They can cry about it, right? This is what Ethan thinks or he wants to do, right? He wants to be this, right? But he can't. You're better than he is.
Jennifer_just subscribe.
He wants to scare people into not talking about him. He wants to scare people into just submission in general, right? He wants to coax people into talking about him, right? He wants the back and forth. He wants the engagement. That's what he wants, right? That's why he's on vacation tweeting about internet drama. Mr. Fair Use himself. I'll put my headphones out. Yeah. He's directing his army of incels to harass people till they end themselves. Well, yeah, which is why it's kind of funny what he said a few days ago. Talking about like, oh, this is the goal of stalkers to get me to kill myself, but I won't do it. Anyway, let me just further stoke harassment into smaller creators who, may or may not be able to deal with such harassment. If I'm going to politics taking time off, Denim said lawyers will talk about that, and this is why. Denim said lawyers will talk about that. This is why this is stupid. Because talked about it and shit. And after this, people don't have as much to say and probably won't. So he's trying to keep trying to start shit. Yeah, he's going to keep expanding his base, right? This is like a death kill. This is his like final move is to just lash out at everybody to make people pay attention to him, right? And I don't think we should give him that. Problem is, I saw a lawyer talk about it, and the law obviously doesn't care how big or small a creator is. How does fans not see him constantly suing small creators and not see him as a rich bully? Because his fans are no longer his fans anymore. The fans that he had before are gone. His fans are like freaking pedophiles, like Nux Taku or whatever, wherever it is. You know what I mean? It's the drama slop tubers. That's who his fan base is, right? And they get off on seeing people scared and afraid, right? That's their entire thing, right? Which is why Keemstar and LSF will post like Casey Tron crying to like dunk on her. That's what they want, right? They're trying to craft and create locales. It's just like Gamergate all over again. It's similar. Yeah, it is Gamergate all over. I live as a capitalist, okay? I live when I believe.
More talk just subscribed. SDABL.
So a lot of tubers are backing him for the content they can, because they see something they can milk. I mean, you shouldn't be watching law tubers in the first place, right? You shouldn't be watching slop tubers talk about this anyway, right? I still stand by that statement. Like, you shouldn't know what like freaking Nux Taku's intricate takes are about like the Ethan Klein Hassan drama. Let it rock. Who cares? You know? Who cares? Like, again, it's something I talked about pretty consistently. It's like, I only see like hater responses when y'all clip that shit. Like, I was on the H3 Leftovers subreddit, and I saw some of the replies I didn't even know existed under my tweet. Because I just don't care enough. I don't look at it. Right? I mind my business. Talk about actual lawyers, not slop tubers, unbiased lawyers. There are no unbiased lawyers who make drama content on the internet, chatter. They're all slop tubers for the most part. If they're covering this is what Ethan Klein is doing, like they're in the slop. Right? They're wading through the slop. Give a nice fit. Sorry, E is the way he is. I mean, it's not your fault, chatter. Considering how much E hates black people, I'm surprised he knows your name. He knows my name so he can hate black people. But yeah, so in response to this, I said TF. And that was funny. Right, because I woke up. I was it was like 11 o'clock at night, and I opened up my freaking Discord. Right, and this was my response.
Woke up, I looked at the computer said, Floyd said, fuck T.I., fuck Nelly, fuck 50. I'm like, what did he say fuck me for? Woke up, I looked at the computer. That was my Floyd said, fuck T.I., fuck Nelly, fuck 50. I'm like, what did he say fuck me for?
That was my response. I'm just like, what did I do? What did I do? And so I tweeted this. And then the resident lolly enjoyer tweeted, oh no, how could this happen? And I said, and you got lolly to watch or something? From 5K likes. Also, it's quiet, ain't no back talk. He ain't reply. He ain't say shit. Cause you know it's true. Go watch your lolly, Nux. Your drawn child pornography. Right? I don't take the opinion of lolly enjoyers seriously, and neither should you. He's too busy watching lolly. True. He was obeying orders. I mean, at our community for constantly asking why you're not getting sued. Like, bro, come on, guys. Yeah, again, this is something I talked about. If somebody can find me the clip where I talked about that a few days ago, it'll be funny. But that's exactly what I said as well. Right? I was like, why y'all dragging me into this? People will be like, oh, why is he only suing women? Which I'm like, okay, fair. He's like, yeah, Sean the Black reacted to it. He didn't sue him either. Why we dry snitching? It was like playing hide and seek, right? And your boy gets found, and all right, come out, bro. They found us. Fuck you mean they found us? We? You speaking French? You speaking French? Leave me out of this. Leave me out of this. Teacher, he cheated too. You gotta laugh at these people. They want to be taken seriously. When I call you and not when XG and Asma reacted, to be fair, they probably didn't think this through, right? They probably didn't think that far ahead. They were trying to call out Ethan's misogyny, which is a good thing. Right? Which is a good thing. But like they you know, I caught a stray. And that's just how it be sometimes. And she's reaction only added 10 minutes and he put the whole thing on YouTube. It doesn't matter, you know. That's not going to change the minds of these people. I live like a capitalist every single day, Shank. And it doesn't change the fact that he's just trying to use this to harass people.
Batswalla just subscribed.
That's why I'll give her the 10-month free subscription. Much appreciated. Problem is they care too much about about gotching Ethan instead of being normal and having lives. That's true, right? Which is why I told y'all to be normal. I told y'all to be normal, right? Y'all so worried about like, oh, this is how I'm gonna call it Ethan for his misogyny. Y'all dragged me into this shit. I think you know Ethan's gonna do it regardless. When it was gonna fall off anyway. I think this was in his back pocket. But like, yeah, I need to bring me into this, right? I should only be mentioned in the most handsome streamer conversation. That's it. Other than that, you know, or rising star, which you should still vote me for, by the way. Voting hasn't opened yet, but soon. Soon. Are you worried about the lawsuit? Like, it happening in general, or like the outcome? I haven't thought that far ahead, honestly. For my defense, it wasn't me. Can I but wonder if he saw you popping off on YouTube and decided you were finally big enough to go after? He's obsessive, and I fully believe he keeps tabs on everyone who criticizes him. No, because that would imply that he waits for people to be big enough to go after them. And he definitely doesn't do that. Right? I think he saw that like his conversation about Denims, Frogan, and Tassytron was starting to slow down. And he's like, oh, guys, stop talking. Don't stop talking about me. I'm still here. Right? I'm still here. Don't forget about me. I'm suing Sean as well. Right? Keep talking about me. Keep posting about me. That's what he's doing. Here, I'm guessing that this has to be Ethan Klein since it mentions suing you. You know what, Chatter? You should buy a lottery ticket because you guessed correctly. But yeah, that's the this take. I haven't seen any other replies, nor do I really care to look. But this is just one that I saw before this started to do well. Because hey, if you get a chance to call it a pedophile, you call it a pedophile. You know what I mean? You call it like it is. If a pedophile comes in your replies, you know, you call him out on it. Right? At the very least, I don't have to worry about like Nux Taku coming around me because my phone will let me know when he's around. Ding! Sex offender in the area. Nux probably. That's fine. So I'm chilling. At least in this regard. But yeah, so that's that information. There's nothing more to that, from what I understand. So I don't want to focus too much on like the shitters and the haters, and things of that way. To stand within 100 yards of a school, they can't find you. True. I'll pick up my little cousin from her elementary school, right? Safe. But yeah, that's the this information of Ethan Klein threatening to sue me. But I don't want to focus too much on the negatives of this. There's actually one post from the Snark subreddit that I think I want to highlight because I was a fan of this. I was happy about this when I saw this. Right? Person said, I'm so fucking pissed. Sean has done amazing work for the left. He's a labor organizer. He unionized his own workforce and has suffered immensely as a result. He used his coding skills to target anti-abortion efforts in Texas and also large corporations trying to hire scab workers. He makes incredible content on discrimination against Black people that has been formative in shaping my worldview. I've been a sub for him for 2 years. I watch his stream daily. He cannot afford this. He does not deserve this. I don't have any words to describe my anger in my heart right now. If I said what happens to Ethan, I would get this sub banned.
I live like a capitalist every single day.
I know who posted this as well, and I won't put him on blast, but I appreciate this.
Squishy
right, and I appreciate the supports that
My
support that this got.
to you is old enough now that I want to keep it away from your reply, guys. Hope this helps the legal fund capper.
Squishy, thank you for the 24-month resubscription. Much appreciated. So yeah.
I live like a capitalist.
At the very least, I hope this puts a focus on, or I can redirect this focus onto like the actual work that matters.
Subscribed. Peepo heart.
When you have the GoFundMe, no GoFundMe at the moment. But yeah, there's been a lot of support, and I appreciate that.
I was about to go get that.
GB Cats, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. That's crazy, much appreciated. Also, sorry, let me stop ignoring YouTube chat, unless there are shitters in there too, in which case, so I can't do that right now, but I'm supporting you in spirit. No, that's fine. That's totally chill. It's totally chill. Also, I want to point out this YouTube chatter. His name is Wes. Wesley, is that you? Wesley, welcome back. Wesley's on YouTube chat. Because I banned him here. He said, remember when Sean almost came when Tecton got harassed online? Now it's crying like a little bitch. Chad, do you think I'm crying? Do I appear afraid? Right? Do I look super sad? Does it look like Ethan's getting to me? Because they give her the 1,000 bits.
Right and they indicted me.
I'm actually to chat too. W. Crying? Yeah, man. I'm sobbing, throwing up, pissing, shitting. It's so over for me, dog. Did he do his homework? Wesley, did you do your homework? I knew it. See, Wesley, I can tell it's you. I can tell it's you.
BM Binder just subscribed. It's a huge bummer that he doesn't have the courage of his convictions to just go after Hassan in court. Like pick on someone your own size, damn.
He ain't about it.
I did everything right and they indicted me.
More talking for the 3-month resubscription. Jenny Farr, thank you for the Prime. K Elements, thank you for the 4-month resubscription. GB guys, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Lyra Kaz, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. BM Binder, thank you for the 3-month resubscription. 6 months? I can't tell with Twitch. MP Shark, thank you for the 10 gifted subs.
I was about to go get
Same with the Court of the Millionaire, he lost. Hey, don't tell Ethan that. The amounts of children that can sue Ela for stealing their designs? Actually, I don't. Everyone can find peace and reform after a band like me. Wesley got like, Wesley got like a week. They got tired of seeing him. Should at some point the courts get sick of this? Get sick of rich people spinning their dick around into smaller people with less money? Probably not. That's what the court systems are based upon. That's what being a real American is. Weaponizing the using your money, your millions of dollars, weaponize the court systems against people who cannot afford it. That's what being American is. Nina, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. And chat 11 a level 7 hype train has started. So if you have bits you want to bit, subs you want to subs, or gifts you want to gift, you can do that now. I would appreciate that. Or you're just gonna watch. You're gonna see the ads. You know, you're just gonna see the ads. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules.
I live like a capitalist.
Limbo, I think for the 25 months. That's crazy. Or you just go to YouTube chat.
Limbotracy just subscribed.
Shout out to Ethan for helping to prove again that having millions doesn't stop you from being a loser. Yeah. As a wise man once said, money can't unlame a lame. Money can't unlame a lame. And also, as another wise man once said, look what that money make a bitch do. I don't know if that one really applies. That's kind of funny. I like that one. It's one of my favorite ones. Once a lame, always a lame. True. That wise man was Duke. I don't think Duke Dennis coined that phrase. Maybe though. I'm off work today because it's my birthday, so I get to watch you on my PC for once. Oh, please don't sue me, chatter. Let's not make this a trend. Please enjoy your birthday, chatter. Don't sue me. Don't be like Ethan Klein and spend your birthday with your mind occupied by your haters. Please enjoy yourself. Max Quinn B, thank you for the tier 1. And Vorkis, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Much appreciated. We're at a level 8 hype train.
The Black says
I was gonna sit down now. I'm freaking my legs are tired.
MX Quinby just
So you know I'm old.
subscribed.
Ugh. Look what that. Do a flip? I'm not doing a flip. Was it Once a Lane, Always a Lane reference to old Kendrick song? That wasn't an old Kendrick song. That was during the Drake discourse. Right? No. First person shooter? No. Like that? It was a Drake. It was a Kendrick song. I'm pretty sure. Like a new one from the rap beef. Euphoria. No, let's listen to Euphoria. Maybe we can glean something from it as well. Multi-Mania, thank you for the gifted sub. Much appreciated, chat. We're 91% to a level 9 hype train. So hey, if you want to do a little I don't know. You can gift the sub if you want to, or some bits. If not, it's fine.
Euphoria. Them superpowers get neutralized. I can only watch in silence. The famous actor we once knew is looking paranoid and now spiraling. You're moving just like a degenerate. Every antic is feeling distasteful. Why calculate? You're not as calculated. I can even predict your angle. Fabricating stories on the family front, cause you heard Mr. Morale.
This is not DMCAU. It's totally fine, honestly. I already took the L when I played Not Like Us earlier. So I'll cut it out of the YouTube video.
Pathetic master manipulator. I can smell the tails on you now.
They changed that? You might be right, actually.
You're not a rap artist, you're a scam artist with the hopes of being accepted. Tommy Hilfiger stood out, but FUBU never had been your collection. I make music that electrify 'em. You make music that pacify 'em. I can double down on that line, but spare you this time. That's random acts of kindness. Know you're a master manipulator and habitual liar too. But don't tell no lie about me, and I won't tell truths about you.
Shoo! 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 Shoo!
Is there another Ethan Klein lawsuit again? Shatter! Shatter! You're in for a surprise.
okay, I'm out the way, yeah, I'm low, okay, yeah, the island right here is remote, okay, I ain't thinking about no reaper, nigga, I'm reaping what I sow, okay, got a Benjamin and a Jackson all in my house, like I'm Joe, okay, Hellcat, met his homeboys in them types LA solo, okay, everybody wanna be demon, till they get chipped by your throwaway, and I might do a show a day, once a lame, always a lame, oh, you thought the money, the power of fame will make you go away, have you ever played, have you ever, okay, nigga, let's play, have you ever watch your enemy down, like with a poker face, have you ever paid 500,000, like to an open case, well I have, and I felt that both, but I came out straight, I hate when I rap or talk about guns, then somebody died, they turn into nuns, then I hop on.
Angel, thank you for the tier 1 and something goes towards you for the 5 months.
Sort of something just
Online, like pray for my city, he faking for likes and digital hugs. His daddy a killer, he wanna be junior, they must have forgot the shit that they done. Dementia must run in his family, but let it get shaky. I park his son. The very first time I shot me a Drake, the homie had told me to aim it this way. I didn't point down enough. Today I show you I learned from those mistakes. Somebody had told me that you got a ring. On God, I'm ready to double the wage. I'd rather do that than let a Canadian nickel make Pac turn in his grave. Cut the business, you got shit twisted. What is it, the brakes? I hurt your feelings, you don't work with me no more. Okay. There's 3 ghosts left, and I see 2 of them kissing and hugging on stage. I love them to death, and in 8 bars, I'll explain that phrase. It's not nobody can tell me.
Wait, what line were we looking for, chat? I don't remember anymore. I was listening to the song. Oh, once a lame, always a lame. Oh, okay. I remember now. Yeah, it already happened. I got so distracted.
Those mistakes. Somebody had told me that you got a ring. On God, I'm ready to double the wage. I'd rather do that than let a Canadian nickel make Pac turn in his grave. Cut the faking for likes and digital. But talk about guns, then somebody died, they turn into nuns. Then I hop online, like pray for my city, he faking for likes. Oh, you thought the money, the power, okay? Everybody wanna be no reaper, nigga, I'm reaping what I sow, okay? Got a Benjamin and a Jackson all in my house, like I'm Joe, okay? Hellcat, met his homeboys in them types LA solo, okay? Everybody wanna be demon till they get chipped by your throwaway, and I might do a show a day. Once a lame, always a lame. Oh, you thought the money, the power of fame will make you go away. Have you ever played? Have you ever? Okay, nigga, let's play.
It fits. It fits. But yeah, so that's the good. This is the good, and then the bad, and then the pedophile of this situation.
I live like a capitalist every single day,
Don't let these
I
papers
live as a
In Soviet Canada, just subscribed. The complaint is a legit joke.
In Soviet Canada, they have the
Don't let
3-month
this basement
resubscription.
umbrella bully you.
Much appreciated.
Ethan, play with your kids.
True. Again, you know what? My headcanon is that Ethan has done blackface so much that he's mistaken me as one of his children. And so we all told Ethan to like go be with and talk about his children, right? And enjoy the company of his children. He's like, oh, Sean the Black, that's one of my kids. And honestly, that's not my fault. You know what I mean? The DMs from Taylor and Ethan. I did see them. Life of a Cyborg, thank you for the tier 1. He's giving you the attention, so that can't be the case. Well, maybe he was trying, you know, maybe he's attempting. I'm down for letting people learn and grow. And when we told Ethan to take care of his kids and be a father, he's just like, you know, focused on me specifically for some reason. Strum, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Much appreciated. And Mr. Monita, thank you for the prime. I can't read.
African princess.
Are you gonna make a
Mr.
GoFundMe?
Monita just subscribed.
There's no GoFundMe right now. I've talked to my legal counsel. Speaking of which, I texted my a lawyer friend of mine today. Or yesterday. And this is what she said, bro. If this is my lawyer, I'm going to jail. I said, I didn't catch this message. Let me see. I said, hey, blank, since you're my lawyer, I have to let you know that this washed up Zionist YouTuber is threatening to sue me. right? And she said, "I'm not your lawyer." And I was like, "Oh, so you're quitting right now in the midst of litigation? What am I even paying you for?" And then she just laughs at me, bro. "If this is my lawyer, I'm going to jail." If this is my lawyer, I'm going to jail. Ethan Klein is taking everything I own. Jeez Louise, I'm not even gonna have this suit left if this is my lawyer. If this is my lawyer. John was the person to be locked up in a civil suit. Yeah. Racially motivated? No, it is racially motivated.
Sean,
it is what it is.
The Black says she's my African princess.
Buncake 225 just subscribed.
To be fair, I have a lot of like, I know a lot of lawyers, or a lot of people in law school, or a lot of people who work at law firms for some reason. Just more than I thought I would, right? They're not copyright lawyers, right? So like, I don't even know what Ethan's suing me for. So like, I don't think they can represent me anyway. But like, it is pretty interesting to see. In law school, W. You're gonna take your SoundCloud revenue? Stop. Not my. I don't think I made any money off SoundCloud. Not my 2 cents. Please no. Please, not my 2 cents. Bun Cake, thank you for the 3-month subscription. Not the dividends. Not the dividends. He's gonna take my dividends royalty, bro. You know, maybe okay, for the one time. We're gonna show you the music that Ethan Klein's gonna take the money from. Wait, actually, I don't have the link anymore. Never mind. I understand it's how him saying that you guys didn't react hard enough when he had it on 24 hours on Twitch, because Twitch US makes that fair use, from my understanding. I won't get into like the legal jargon or discourse, because I'm not a lawyer, so I can't speak to it. Right? I'll let the courts decide. And if Ethan wants to take this ring from me, he's gonna have to pry it off of my cold, dead hands. This ring cost me a total of 3 cents. He heard Nick please, and he wants to write to it so bad. True. The biggest problem with the lawsuit is that Ethan and his fans are pretending that everyone admitted that they were trying to redirect views to this slam dunk. Makes this a slam dunk case of copyright law, strict liability, meaning there's no intent element. Ultimately, it comes down to fair use analysis. Yeah. Can't ask everyone and their mom to react to something and then takes these backseas. Like he was whining about people watching this thing. That's just Ethan. You know, it is what it is. This is legal advice. He's gonna win your channel in the lawsuit and rebrand it to Ethan Dwight. No, not Ethan Dwight. He's gonna take everything I own. He's gonna take my my watch that doesn't even tick, I realized, because I think the battery's dead in it. He's gonna take this Men's Warehouse suit away from me. What am I gonna do? He's gonna take your wardrobe. He's bad. Everyone's talking on him. True. He's gonna take your melanin. He can't take my melanin. I'll die with my melanin. Not the battery powered watch. He's gonna flex his AP on you in court now. I mean, I don't pretend to be like loaded. That was never a thing. Right? So I mean, if he wants to watch, I can give it to him. Right? The strap's broken. So there's 2 straps on it, and one of the straps is just gone. I don't even know how it happened, but it's just gone now. He's actually filed any of these lawsuits with the court. There's like, I think he posted the complaints for the other 3. I don't know what he's done for this one, honestly. Just gonna rebrand to Shonda. True. Who wants to be the Sakura to my Jason? That's what I do with Ethan's money and giant platform. Instead of using his money for therapy, he does dumb lawsuits. Yeah. Do you have a girlfriend? Well, she doesn't want to be on camera, so she can't be my Sakura. Right? I need to have an on-stream relationship that is will they, won't they? You know, and we farm like relationship drama points. What are you to assume you wouldn't be the Sakura? What do you mean by that? Okay, let's be real here, right? I would be totally fine with being the Sakura. There's nothing wrong with being the Sakura in the Jason Sakura dynamics. Why are you implying that there's something wrong with that? It's Hassan in a maid outfit. Like it's like you about Naruto? No. See, I don't understand. You're not parasocial enough. You're not parasocial enough to get it, right? Get with the times, chat. Get with the times. Took a month off of Twitch for the NBA Finals, and now I'm so lost. Take that video I found about Ethan. Did you just post this, chatter? Look at the video I found about Ethan. It was posted 10 minutes ago. Yeah, I'll show it to you anyway.
My employer is waiting for a check from you, Arbuckle. Don't make me sue you. Listen to my schedule for this afternoon. 1 o'clock, sue someone. 2 o'clock, sue someone. 3 o'clock, go visit my cousin Sue. 3:30, sue. 4 o'clock, stop at the market, buy a gallon of milk. 4:30, sue the market, the dairy, and the cow the milk came from.
True. This is Ethan Klein. Anyway, I don't know if I have anything else to add. I'm gonna be real. Oh, okay, actually there's one last thing. Right? And there's a lot of attention right now. And if you actually want to do me a solid, chatters, right? If you actually want to support me, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go to, I actually don't know the, is this the thumbnail? Is this the website? No. Wait, no, it's probably this. Yeah, it's this. I want you to mosey yourself down to this website here, gz4c.org/fight, right? For the organization that I work at, Gen Z for Change, we have this very handy tool. If you go to H, hold institutions accountable. If you hate ICE, I don't like ICE. One's in the chat if you don't like ICE. As in like immigration enforcement. See, if you also don't like ICE, right? You might not have known that Hilton, Marriott, Choice hotels in Los Angeles are housing ICE, allowing ICE to conduct their raids. Right? Now, two's in the chat if you think that that's unacceptable. See, that's a lot of twos. I too think it's unacceptable. Right? And so if you want to support and put pressure on these hotel chains, right, to push for them to end their collaborations with ICE, it's a very simple thing. gz4c.org/fight/H, or you can scroll down on the main page and click on hotel action. If you have an iPhone, right? If you have an iPhone, you just click download the shortcut, and it's an iOS shortcut you can download. You can set up an automation to automatically send emails to hotels and the corporate offices for these hotels to get them to stop housing ICE. I would appreciate it if you did that. That's how you can support me right now. It's very simple. It's 3 clicks. You click download shortcut. You click get shortcut. And then you have the shortcut. You can either click the shortcut and run it on the shortcut interface, add it to your desktop to like run it like an app, or you can set up an automation to have it run every time you open up TikTok, every time you open up Twitch, every time you open up Instagram, every time you see a tweet about Ethan Klein, if you so choose to. You can have it automatically send an email to these hotels to tell them to end their collaborations with ICE to protect your communities. And if you want to see other, other ways you could help other initiatives, right? My day job is at Gen Z for Change, where we do fun stuff like this. We'll work with Android. We have not posted the Android instructions, but like between you and me, I can give you the Android instructions, right? It's just not on the website yet. I'm just gonna find it. ICE community, head over to people over papers. People will keep track of where ICE is. Also, Stop ICE.net. Yeah, Stop ICE.net is great. You're not a millennial? No, I'm not a millennial. Here, this is the Android instructions. They're not, as freaking Android. If you have an Android, you can figure it out, right? You just have to download an app called Automate from the Google Play Store. You download this. This is actually not correct. This should be should be this. There's a automation called GZ4C-Fight. And then you can do the same thing. You set up your email account, which uses Gmail, and then you run the extension, and then every day at a certain time, it'll send an email. Download an iPhone emulator. Is it hipster to have an Android? Yeah. Yeah, it is hipster. So you have to go to the second page as well. Wait, let me see. I copied this link here. The first page is for, there's the same link. Yeah, the first page is for a different tool. It's sunsetted. Because we also did it for emailing Congress to call for a ceasefire, right? And we actually sent, we sent Congress as a whole, I think upwards of like 200 million emails calling for a ceasefire. 300 million emails. It was a lot of freaking emails. There's a lot of freaking emails. So yeah, I do stuff like that. And I hope you support me in this work that I do, because fuck ICE. ICE sucks. Did you get bullied in school for having an Android, or was that just me? Oh, I didn't have an Android, so L. Oh. So yeah, if you want to stick it to Ethan Klein, I think you should use that tool. But also, you should also engage with other parts of the Fight Initiative as well, because I worked on the H tool. That was my thing. But there are other parts that other people on the team worked on that I think you should also support. You should donate to different rapid response organizations, people who are monitoring ICE activity, legal support, emergency alerts, things like that. You should donate to that. You should share the Invoke Your Rights section so you know your rights. There's not the get out the vote section, but like, and yeah, get involved as well, which actually I didn't get this at all. Hey, join an organization. Because you were Canadian for some reason and couldn't get sued. How dare you? That's crazy. Y'all hiring? I don't think so, no. Why is it crazy? Because that would be freaking Canadian. How dare you? How dare you? Yeah. I think that's all I have to say. I don't have anything else to add. I don't remember what I was going to talk about today. Oh, Zohran won. That's cool. Maybe we could talk about that. Can't believe E is suing Ludwig. Yeah, it's crazy. Valorant map. Yeah, maybe I just like stick it to all the drama perverts and just freaking play Valorant for the rest of the day. You know? Yeah, I don't know if I have much else to say. Oh, yeah, TikTok did get banned again, but I don't know what else to say about that. Also, Danum Tags, thank you for the Prime, and Casa Vita, thank you for the Tier 1 as well. Thanks for all the support, chat. I appreciate that. Here, we can. Did I have a tweet about the Zohran win? Did I talk about Zohran winning? I think I did. Unless I'm going crazy. Oh, there was this tweet. The sky is blue. I don't think so. I wasn't live yesterday. Here. Let's start with I'm going to Bernie. See what Bernie has to say. Did you learn his comments on Zohran winning? Surprised to see that Mango actually get banned too. Yeah, that was surprising as well. I didn't expect that.
Senator Bernie Sanders is an independent of Vermont. He endorsed Zohran Mamdani for mayor. In a new op-ed for The Guardian, he asked, quote, will the Democrat...
over a 15-year-old anime character? You think that's why he got banned? That was like days ago, though. Probably not. Yeah, you're right.
Let's learn from Zohran Mamdani's victory, and he joins me now. Senator, what's your reaction to the big upset last night?
Enthusiastic.
Upset, but I always had faith. I never once doubted Zohran.
It was one of the great political victories in modern history. Zohran ran a brilliant campaign. And I think the most significant part of his campaign, and I, Chris, would not compare it to Obama or to Clinton. What Zohran understood is that in order to win, you got to be more than charismatic, and he is. You got to be more than smart, which he is. You got to build.
Also, can I take this off? It's not very comfortable. Gotta be hot. Not even that it's hot, bro. It's just that it's constricting my giant freaking muscles.
a strong grassroots movement around a progressive agenda. He had thousands and thousands.
Bro cannot stop himself. Okay, maybe we will talk about that, because I literally have a video talking about that specifically, about how Tectone literally cannot stop himself. Like, he's told specifically by Twitch, stop talking about denims, and he's like, I'm going to keep talking about denims, and he keeps getting banned for it.
Of people knocking on doors because they were excited about his message. And his message said, you know what? In a time of unprecedented income and wealth inequality, we are going to ask the richest people in New York City to stop paying their fair share of taxes. So among other things, we can address the major crisis facing New York and America, by the way, is soaring housing costs. They're going to freeze rent at a time when families can't afford decent quality food. He's talking about helping to create publicly funded grocery stores so that kids can get food that's affordable, making buses free. He's giving people a positive agenda, not just going after Trump, but giving something that people can believe in, an analysis which reflects their reality. So I thought it was a great campaign, and I look forward to continue to work with him.
You know, one thing I think is that, I'm curious what you think of this theory. I think one thing that happens in campaigns is people get risk averse the more sort of backing they have, and so they don't want to screw it up. And the more that you're coming from a position of like, no one expects you to win, it does also give you latitude to actually go out and try stuff. Like, even whether that's a new ideas, like we're going to try publicly funded grocery stores. Like, no one else is saying that, but I do think there's an appetite for risk or trying new things that was so palpable in this campaign that seems to me also really important.
But it's not just, he sat up at night, I think, this is, a risky idea, but we'll do it. I think he was prepared, and this is the point. Look, what is the Democratic Party today, Chris? It is, I don't think people can argue with us. It is funded by very wealthy people. It is run by inside the Beltway consultants who really have very little clue about what's going on in the real world. And that is why I think, sadly, Kamala Harris lost an election that she should have won. It is a party which is not going to take on powerful special interests because of fundraising fears. And it certainly has turned its back on working people. And Zohran did all of that. He changed all of that about. And the question is, will the Democratic leadership learn from his campaign? I doubt it. I think they would rather go down with the Titanic than give up the fact that they are captains of the boat. But it doesn't really matter what they think. What Zohran's campaign showed is that people are prepared to stand up and fight for change. We're seeing that in the Fighting Oligarchy talk. We saw it last week. Millions of people came out to the No King rally. People understand that our political and economic system is broken, that the rich get richer and millions of people are struggling to put food on the table. They understand the two parties today are not responding to their needs. They want something different. And I think Zohran touched on that reality.
I think some people may know this part of your bio, but some may not, which is that you were a congressman for Vermont, the at-large. There's one district. You are obviously a U.S. senator. Before that, you were a mayor in Burlington. And I'm curious, you were a socialist mayor. There's not a ton of them. We don't have a really long list of socialist mayors in America. So from one former socialist mayor to a man who may be a socialist mayor, one of the things I think about that job, whatever size municipality you're governing is, you really got to deliver for people. Like, you're not taking votes, right? So people are going to see very tangibly, like, is this working or not? And I'm curious how you think about what advice you would offer from that perspective, which is very different than being a senator or legislator.
Well, I just spoke to Zohran a little while ago, and I had some thoughts about it's going to be a very hard job. I mean, running any big city in America today with all of the crises that municipalities are facing is just not easy. And he's going to have to think long and hard about how you can run that city in a way that really works well for working people. But what I did as mayor of Burlington, and I was reelected 3 times, taking on Democrats and Republicans, is we focused on the basic issues. I kept property taxes as low as I could. I was conscious of the fact a lot of people can't afford higher taxes. We paved the streets, the sidewalks. We paid attention to working class and low income areas that had been ignored for years. We started an after-school program. We started a child care program. We started a teen center for kids, which people still remember. We built affordable housing, started new ideas, community land trust for housing, which is now being done literally all over the world. It was started in Burlington, Vermont. So your point is we also spoke out on national issues, and we had a foreign policy. People joke, Burlington had a foreign policy. We could do it, but you can't do that unless you are paying attention to the day-to-day needs of working class people. So I remember one guy wrote, somebody said, your mayor is a socialist. What do you think about that? The guy says, I really don't know, but he is getting the streets paved.
Yes, that's exactly. It all starts from there at every level of politics. Senator Bernie Sanders. Good evening from New York. I'm Chris Hayes. Today, every Democrat.
Okay, chat. I found something to talk about. Obviously, Zohran winning is great, and I think he will also win the general. I think Eric Adams is cooked, but I don't want to speak too far into that. Tiny Chef getting canceled. Yeah, they canceled the little Tiny Chef guy. I haven't never seen Tiny Chef before, but I saw a little character crying about getting canceled. I was like, bro. Sag. It made me shed tears. But I also want to talk about the pirate software stuff. Did y'all see the pirate software stuff? Chat? No. What did pirate do now? You don't know. You have no idea how tempted I was to click on this when I saw Ludwig's face in a drama title, but I can't do Ludwig drama every day. I can't. I gotta. I can't. I don't even know what that's about.
I have no doubt most of.
Wait, there's a second video? Okay. Wait, no, this is the same video, right? No. This is the second video. Okay. So, Moist Critical, Charlie, made a video calling out pirate software. And apparently pirate software responded. Okay, I'm so down for this. Yeah, second video has hit the towers. That's crazy. Okay. That's something. Technically getting banned is also something. Also, there's apparently like a thing about Phantom. Did y'all see this this Phantom drama? As well. Like his cousin is like quote unquote exposing him for like not taking care of his family or whatever. And like that's not the full story, but like I saw this when I was sitting on the toilet. I'm gonna be real. And I was like, I gotta talk about this as well. So that is also on the docket to talk about. Yeah, we're gonna close the chapter on the Ethan Klein stuff for now because there's not really any new updates. Also, for the Zohran stuff, I said, will Democrats learn the correct lesson from the Zohran win? Probably not, but it feels nice regardless, right? And then there's like a day later, lesson for the night. Please, Democrats, embrace social media and new media. It clearly works. Harry Sisson. Harry is such a doofus. This is what I'll call him. Right? And I don't want to say a grifter, but like a grifter. He wants to get paid. You know? He doesn't care about why Zohran actually won or why he resonated with people. Right? He wants to get paid. He is a social media, new media personality. And he wants the dollars to flood into him. He's using Zohran's win and the good campaign that was run off of real populist working class messaging. And he's like, it must be the social media. So you should give me $1 billion, right? And I'll craft you a social media campaign like Zohran had, and then you'll succeed. And inevitably, it will fail because it doesn't have the actual populist messaging. It doesn't matter because Harry got paid regardless. He doesn't care about the actual issues. Right? David Hogg, you don't even have to be good at organizing. I think David Hogg is definitely way more left wing than like Harry and Dean are, but he's still not all the way there. What's amazing about this is that it's the same thing that builds successful social movements. You don't need to be especially well organized or have massive bureaucracy. You just need a clear and inspiring message of what the goal is and how to get there. People will show up even if they fail multiple times, and they have the motivation and community to help to keep picking themselves up and organize and knocking on the next door or making the next phone call. Now that you can't buy. Like, he's not wrong, but like, that's organizing, David. He says you don't even need to be organized, right? You just need to be organized. He just described organizing, having the motivation and the community to go to the next door, right? To do the next phone call, to do more outreach. That is what organizing means. What is he talking about? Like, he's not incorrect, but he's just kind of dumb on this specific point, because he's not calling it organizing, which it is organizing. Like, he's right in that the message is important, right? Like, you just need a clear and inspiring message of what the goal is. Like, that is important. That's a part of organizing. You have the message to build an organizing point around it, right? Like, geez Louise. It's both great message, great organizing. Yeah. And I don't want to spend too much time on David because I think David's like, he's getting there. Right? He's getting there. Yeah. Wait, he deactivated? I don't know if this is true or not. We'll get to that in a second. I want to start with text zone. We'll start with the pirate software stuff. Right? Because I actually talked about pirate software a few months ago, actually. One of my first stream cut down YouTube videos. Where is it? My problem with pirate software 5 months ago. Right? And so apparently Charlie talked about what I talked about here, and then pirate software responded in a separate video. So let's get into this. And I found out about this from Jason, which is kind of funny. I saw Jason tweet about pirate software, and I was just like, what do you do now?
You know what this is right here, pal? Huh, tough guy? You feeling lucky? Yeah, that's right. Spirit fingers. Do you know why? Because it's been about 30 hours since I last slept, and I've done 3 different intros, all of which crash and burned, and I am off my gourd, so now I'm going wacko mode. But even in my sleep-deprived state, I am still lucid enough to recognize how cattywampus the AAA gaming space has become. Like, the gaming industry has so many things that I have bitched and moaned about. Probably the biggest practice that I've been most vocal about, not exactly shy on, is the topic of you will own nothing and be happy. The Ubisoft...
This video is actually very good from Charlie from the perspective of like a consumer perspective. And this is what pirate software fails to grasp a lot of the time, is he doesn't have the consumer perspective, right? He has the like capitalist brained game developer perspective from like, he's acting as though he is Blizzard himself. Like he said, like pirate software positions himself as though he is like Mr. Blizzard, right? And any criticism of the gaming industry is like a criticism of him directly. To speed up X 0.25, Charlie sounds like he's talking 0.75. I did, chatter, which is kind of funny. It's on 1.25 right now. That's the first thing I did.
Ubisoft motto, God rest that company's soul. What a pile of dog shit. But it's not just Ubisoft. That has become a prevalent business strategy across the gaming industry. You will own nothing. You will be happy. You're basically, you come away with the idea of ownership of whatever games you purchase. I've worn this topic out more than a fleshlight in a frat house, but it is something I am very passionate about.
Heyo.
The gaming industry is getting away with more and more garbage where they'll take a shit in your mouth and you're expected to thank them for adding some flavor to your taste buds. It's terrible. And there is an initiative that has been aiming to fight back against a lot of these practices that I think really need some big overhaul. And it's an initiative that I think a lot of you are probably very familiar with. It's called Stop Killing Games. And I've followed it since its inception. I've talked about it on stream quite a few times, though this is my first video going over it. And I regret that now because I see it wasn't going as well as I thought it was. Admittedly, I didn't follow how successful the initiative was, only that it was aiming to do good for consumers, and that it was taking proper steps legally to get there, and it was going through all of the right channels. And now today I watched a video from the guy that's spearheading this. His name is Ross. He posted a video called The End of Stop Killing Games.
I understand where he's coming from. Usually the publisher is the one for the devs, and they are the ones receiving the blame.
He's giving an update on where everything's at and how it's kind of at the finish line here with a lot of failure to show for it.
Ethan post, he's suing you? Apparently.
With only a few other chances to fight back. Now, before getting into the weeds on the topic, I want to get this in the beginning because I imagine the vast majority of people won't watch the whole thing. I'm putting a link to the full video on Stop Killing Games, as well as a link to where you'd go to help support the Stop Killing Games initiative, because there's only a little bit of time left for the most important parts of it now that it's at the end. So if you know what the movement is and want to support it but didn't know where, the resources are in the description, or if you want to get it right from like the source, I have a link to his video. But I want to go into it myself here because it is a topic that I do feel very strongly about. But for those that don't know anything about Stop Killing Games, I'm going to let him explain it in his own words, so that way you can get an actual, correct, informed explanation of what the initiative is. And the reason I say it like that, kind of like fucking all, pinky out, snooty, is because a lot of people don't even really know what this is because of people like Pirate Software completely misrepresenting what the initiative was.
As a refresher, Stop Killing Games is a consumer movement.
I talked about this like 6 months ago about why and how Pirate Software just doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to this initiative. And he tries to position it as though like, oh, I can't support this because, it doesn't help your cause or whatever. It's like, guy who doesn't support your cause, this isn't helping your cause kind of thing. He's like, you're supposed to be targeting this, but you're not targeting this. Therefore, I can't support this because it's not targeted enough on this thing or whatever.
Publishers from effectively destroying video games they have already sold to customers.
I'll pause right there. The simplest bare bones birthday suit butt-ass naked explanation for what this is. Stop destroying things that people have paid money to own. I think that is a very understandable, very reasonable take. Very agreeable. Now I want to quickly jump to a different spot in this video because I think it's important to have this in the beginning because it's something a lot of people have heard that comes from someone that is just wrong about it. It's the Pirate Software portion. Ross is addressing the video Pirate Software made many months ago. Ross even says that he didn't plan on doing that because he didn't want to.
How Pirate Software just threw all of the goodwill that he garnered in the streaming landscape just out the window by just being not good. You could have just not had been so like egotistical, but you know, the more you know. The more you know. But he used to be everywhere. Like, he used to be everywhere. Like, him and Ludwig had a thing, like a game publishing studio. I think they still might have it. But like, yeah, you kind of don't hear it talked about much anymore. Wasn't the faster turnarounds? Yeah, because he couldn't, like, for lack of a better term, keep it in his pants. Bro just didn't want to acknowledge that he had to manage him. You know? It's been great for a while. No, I've never been a Pirate Software fan. It's like that one meme that says, like, when the niche internet micro celebrity that you hate for no particular reason gets canceled for a legitimate reason, kind of thing. Right? Again, I speak about it extensively in this video titled "My Problem with Pirate Software." Is a 40-minute video, and I go into like my main issue with him.
I got that because my dad worked,
and that is his like inability to take responsibility for anything, and his just like super pro capitalism attitude that I also just didn't like. I just didn't like the pompousness of it. It's like he talks to even his viewers, but including like other streamers and stuff, like they're stupid, right? He has this like holier than thou, I'm smarter than you, like mindset. I don't vibe with that personally. Thanks, Drum Dog, for the gifted subs. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. The guy in the bottom right of the video you're watching is kind of cute. That's what I'm saying. He definitely deserves an Ethan Klein lawsuit. I don't think he's a bad person, though. No, I think he's I don't say bad person. I think he's egotistical. I think he's unable to take accountability for anything that he's done or said. And that leads to him coming across as a bad person to people. I don't know his like particular moral framework, right? But just the way that he talks about and interacts with the space, right? It oftentimes lead him to come across as though the incorrect person in the situation. And like he comes across as smart a lot of the time because he talks about like the gaming industry and that's what he knows. But then he'll dig into something else, and then he'll talk with the same level of like hubris, same level of authority on that topic, even if he's wrong about it, and that kind of rubs a lot of people the wrong way. You know, I think that's why people have this view of Pirate Software. A perfect example is what we're talking about now, which is Stop Killing Games. He just misunderstood what Stop Killing Games was about. He spoke so confidently about it that he's tanked the initiative, and he refuses for like over a year to take accountability for him just not understanding what it is. You know?
That is just wrong about it. It's the Pirate Software portion. Ross is addressing the video Pirate Software made many months ago. Ross even says that he didn't plan on doing that because he didn't want to be seen as using this for drama farming, because it would start to make the movement look less of like a legitimate initiative and more of just like drama slop content type thing. But he finally starts talking about Pirate Software here because it's at the end of the life cycle of this initiative and it's not looking promising, so he's willing to do anything to try and set the record straight and hopefully start getting more momentum back to the movement, because the damage Pirate Software did to it through his video was substantial.
This video came out right as we were building momentum. Then, except for one boost in Germany, the signatures started drying up like clockwork. Ford does not understand what Stop Killing Games is. Here it is in his words.
So for those who don't understand, the Stop Killing Games initiatives is basically, we don't want single-player games to have DRM that the developers can turn off and thus render the single-player games inactive anymore. This is what they want to change. They need to be specific that they're talking about single-player games that do not need a server to support them.
No.
And as much as they want it to be about specifically games, where it is a single-player game that has always online functionality, it would impact every live service game that exists, instead of just targeting single-player, always online games.
No, that's not what it is. Stop Killing Games includes single-player games, but nothing about it is specific to them. He completely made that up, and I have no idea where he got that impression. It's the first line on the website. Stop Killing Games is a consumer movement started to challenge the legality of publishers destroying video games they have sold to customers. But the move...
And so this is something Pirate Software does a lot, and that is he essentially does what is a straw man argument. He doesn't want to actually engage with what Stop Killing Games is actually about, because he's against it, right? He's against the actually what Stop Killing Games is about. He's against it. He is not for, right, publishers, game publishers, to have some functionality for games when they release it. He doesn't care about that because he himself is a game developer, right? He's a game publisher. He's a part of the Ludwig's game publishing initiative, right? But he can't say that he's against that because then his audience will turn on him. And so he strawmans what Stop Killing Games is actually about to be like, oh, I'm against this specific thing that I made up about what Stop Killing Games is about. And that's why I'm against it. You know? That's what he's doing.
Movement includes all this stuff from earlier, and he was mostly talking about the initiative.
He didn't even get the Cliff Notes summary right. He missed all the QTEs and got the bad ending on understanding the initiative from the jump here. Ross is correct. This has nothing to do with just single-player only games that require an online connection, that when the online connection is severed, you lose access to the game. Like, yeah, that is included in all of this, but that's not, like, what the whole movement is about. And for some reason, Pirate Software is stun-locked on that, like, fixated, as if that is the actual, like, meat and potatoes of Stop Killing Games.
Because it has to be for him, you know? It just has to be. Because he can't actually address what Stop Killing Games is supposed to be about. Because if he says that Stop Killing Games itself, what it actually is bad, again, the consumers will turn on him because he's anti-consumer. Because he is anti-consumer. Bro's name is Pirate Software. He's anti-consumer. Also anti-piracy, apparently. Which is kind of funny.
Tracy Poop,
thank you for the 6-month subscription.
Clap.
Much appreciated. Pirate Software also said that he doesn't want to get involved in politics and says, although he agrees with Asmon's positions, Asmon is ruining Twitch with politics, so he tried to signal the right-wing beliefs while saying he's not political. Yeah, I talk about that in this video as well. My problem with Pirate Software. Actually, no, I do talk about the Asmon stuff specifically. You should watch this video, Chatter. I think you'll like it. You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. These games are dead, so a private server that asks for donations to run and maybe makes money. Who cares? It's a 10-year-old game that never goes past 1,000 people. Even then, like, if the server binaries are open, like, there will also be free servers. There will also be people who, like, just because they love the game will keep it running so that they can play it. Like, it's a net positive. Again, I'll explain this in my own terms. Stop Killing Games is an initiative that says if you purchase a game, if you buy or license a game, you are entitled to be able to play that game. And when a game publisher, right, when a corporation wants to stop servicing that game, if it's like a live service game, right, they have to do something to ensure that the game is playable in some state, in some way, when it ends. So you're just not left with a bundle of random software. You know? They have to allow server tools? Not even. That's not even correct. Right? They don't have to allow server tools. It just needs to be playable in some state. Right? It would be beneficial for everybody if they allowed server tools. If they release a server binary that allows you to host your own servers, your own private servers, right? But that's not what the initiative is saying, like, wholesale. They're just saying that if somebody purchases a game, they should be able to play that game whenever they want to because it is a game that they purchased. Right? It just needs to work and be functional in some way. Right? For the crew, if you boot up the crew in 2025, you'll open up the crew splash page, you'll press enter game, and then it'll spin up a little bit and be like, the servers are down, you can't play the game. The entire game is on the freaking disc, if you have the disc, or it's on the console. The cars are on the console. The tracks are on the console. The gameplay mechanics are on the console, right? It is on the console, and you cannot access it, right? You cannot access it because the servers are down. You just cannot play the game. His argument is a publisher one, yeah. And he won't actually, yes. Yeah. There are games right now that you've purchased, right? You have the disc for that has the day one game on it, the launch game on it. You can put the disc into your freaking PS4, your PS3. Right? I think PS3 is not that big of an issue, but like PS4 is like the issue, the main thing, because the PS4 is a sunsetting console, right? You put the disc in your PS4, you boot it up, and you cannot play it. You have the full game, you cannot play it. And that's the issue. Nobody is saying that they have to run those servers for that game in perpetuity, but at least offer the server binary so I can make my own server for it, right? Or allow me like a practice track I can drive around in. Let me just look at the freaking cars. Let me play the game that I purchased. That's all Stop Killing Games was. And Pirate Software went out of his way, in my opinion, to misunderstand it.
They need to be more specific in their language.
PS4 straight up won't run any games, basically forced me to buy a new console. If it weren't for some folks rebuilding a game from the ground up, some games wouldn't even be playable. Like Dragon's Dogma Online, SKG would preserve all games and more. Yeah, all of that and more, 100%. Like one of my favorite games, chat. And I don't know if you've ever heard of it. You know, I don't think if I actually guess it, you probably would never guess it unless you heard me say this before. One of my favorite games of all time is a game called Magica Wizarding Wars. Infamous is great too, but that's not what I'm talking about. Specifically when it comes to live service games. One of my favorite live service games of all time is Magica Wizarding Wars. Right? Basically, it was a game that like you were like a little tiny like wizard guy, little cloak on, right? And you get to combine different elements to make different magical effects. And you're fighting. It's like League of Legends, but like better, actually good. You know. It's like Magica is like this standalone single player game, but Magica Wizarding Wars is the live service version. Right? They shut it down. They shut it down. I think there's like community servers running, but they did shut it down. Spellbreak is another example of a game that I like. Dragon Ball Online is a Dragon Ball MMO, one of the only Dragon Ball MMOs that I still go back to and I play, right? Because there are community servers running. Right? And these are all games that are free, by the way. These are free to play games. So they wouldn't even necessarily be covered under the Stop Killing Games initiative, right? But they're such a fun experience that I think that people should be able to experience long after the publisher wants to stop maintaining it, right? And I think a lot of the devs want this as well. If it was up to the developers, they would release the server binaries, right? And they could see people playing their game 5 to 10 years down the line, right? But it's not the devs' fault, it's the publishers. Skate 1 through 3 had servers shut them down and brought them back to promote Skate. When did Skate come out? I love Skate. Skate is such a fun freaking game. Toontown mentioned. I love Toontown. I love Toontown. This is 1.2 million views. Jeez, freaking wheeze. It's a bit long, so I don't think we watch it today. But like, because we still have a few more videos to get through. But piracy is morally correct, actually. Fusion Fall was great too. They played Toontown Rewritten. I have not. I didn't even know it existed. My recent revisiting MMO kick, because sometimes I just revisit an MMO I haven't played in years. Sometimes it's Dragon Ball Online. I've recently started playing and revisiting Star Wars: The Old Republic. right? There's basically nobody in the game. The game is pretty much empty, right? But it's so fun to run around with a freaking lightsaber and start beating things up. Play Adventure Quest or Dragon Fable. I played both Adventure Quest and Dragon Fable. I love those games. Those were my games. Those were the computer lab games, right? Those were straight up computer lab games. Lightsaber noise is so good. Just unsheath your saber. Hey, yo. I've been playing Night Rain. I have been playing Night Rain. Night Rain's a lot of fun too. I just beat the second boss because I just don't play it enough. But like my teammates suck. I gotta play with Nandre. We're supposed to play for the 30-hour stream, but I have not planned it because I've been busy. But there's a new boss that looks sick. But yeah, sorry, we're getting distracted. Back to Pirate Software.
About it being single player, always online connectivity games. When that's just not what it's about. Like, they're not being specific about that.
Live from the courthouse is crazy.
Because that is not what they are specifically targeting. It is about the whole practice of destroying games that consumers have already purchased and having no end-of-life plans for games that are being sunset. So, for example, The Crew. The Crew is an example everyone is going to reference and talk about because Ubisoft is still currently in a lawsuit battling against it for what happened with this game. I've yapped about it quite a bit, so I'm not just going to regurgitate that. I'm sure a lot of you already know the story about it. But basically, you buy The Crew, Ubisoft pulls the plug on the servers, you can't play The Crew anymore, now it's just an old wet dream of what once was. And they are facing a lawsuit, and while this is in the umbrella of Stop Killing Games, it is not the only thing Stop Killing Games is referencing when it comes to this practice. Pirate Software is so hung up on it being single-player games that people lose access to, when that is a component of it, but not the entire focus.
Yes.
Well, the short version is the initiative is about requiring publishers to have end-of-life plans for games they've sold to customers in the future. So when they shut them down, customers can continue running them without their support. So that's one thing Thor doesn't understand, but he also seems to think this is about converting multiplayer games to single-player.
Transitioning an entire multiplayer server-side game into a single-player video game, which means rebalancing the entire experience around a single player, rebuilding everything in the entire game. How are you going to do that with Final Fantasy XIV? You're just going to make all the raids soloable? Imagine the day that World of Warcraft shuts down, and suddenly you have to make it a single-player game for every individual that ever bought the game. That's what they're asking for.
No.
Because they would have to sunset live service games as a single-player experience. The idea that suddenly you need to make every single live service game playable single-player offline? No, dude.
Correct. No.
This part is more confusing than Finnegan's Wake, because nowhere in anything on Stop Killing Games has this even been like a talking point from anyone besides Pirate Software. I don't know where he pieced this puzzle together. Like I don't get it. Like, if I'm gonna try and like really reach here and give like a charitable explanation for this take, maybe he's extrapolating based on the idea that if publishers have to have end-of-life plans for their games, that includes MMOs, where once the game is getting sunset, you're pulling the plug on it, you would then need to turn the game over to the community in a playable state, an accessible state, like give the code to them. Thus, it turned it into a single-player experience. So
thank you. We do a little bit of coding. I appreciate that. Shout out to Brett. That'd be anti-fascism. Yeah. It's not fully done yet because we still need to add the Android and Android instructions, but yeah. When the coding stream was like 3 months ago. True. Came back to Power Software to say something silly again. I don't know. Funny rapid response as line item 1, of course.
So the developer
coding the Pirate Software, it's crazy, right? Also, it's kind of funny because like people can't diminish my coding skills. Now they're like, I saw a post that was, and I don't look at hater posts like that, but this was kind of funny. It was like, black man learns to code, immediately commits a crime underneath my pinned tweet. Which is basically, I'm the coder who helped take down the Texas anti-abortion's website and kept Starbucks, Kellogg's, and Rouse from hiring scout workers by coding a website that generates fake applications. Can you help me grow my network on Twitter so I can keep using coding for good? It's like, hey, if more people who are familiar with the work, the more people that use the tools, the more bigger of an effect that it has. So maybe Ethan can do something good with his life, you know?
The onus would be on the developers to rebalance their game to be a single-player experience for them. I guess. I have no idea. That still just doesn't make any sense, but maybe that's the tree he's barking up with that thought process. I really don't know, because Stop Killing Games at no point ever says any of these multiplayer games need to be converted to single player. That really is outlandish. And the more I think about it, like, the more nonsensical it becomes, because even in Pirate Software's hypothetical fanfic there, why would the developers need to rebalance the game? They would just turn over the code to the community and just it'd be in that state. They're no longer...
Yeah, he's like, it makes no sense. Pirates, again, he's literally just saying it so he doesn't have to he's literally just saying it so he doesn't have to actually engage with the truth behind the initiative. Because it's as simple as, if a developer is going to sell or license a product to the community, right, with no time frame of when the support was going to end, if they decide to just end support, right, they have to have some plan to either leave the game in a playable state or give the community the tools to make the game playable after the fact. It's that simple. Is it pretending like modders don't exist to fix the abandoned games? Yeah. Which seems reasonable. It's 100% reasonable. It's not like they're using it for anything anyway, right? It's the game publisher equivalent of like HBO taking off freaking Westworld because they want to save money on taxes or whatever. They want to do it as a tax write-off. Or Warner Bros. Filming and editing the entire Batwoman movie and not releasing it to write it off on their taxes, right? It would be like legislation against stuff like that, which would be net positive. But even then, this is worse because like you paid money for this product. It would be like buying the disc for like Avengers Endgame, and you put the disc in your DVD player to play. I know, very archaic. In your DVD player to play, and then it plays for 3 months, and then somebody breaks into your door and then snaps the disc in half. Like, also, I think there was a company that tried to do that, like to make discs that self-destructed. Y'all remember hearing about that? It was like a Netflix style company, like old Netflix. Yeah, here. A brief history of self-destructing DVDs. Blockbuster Videos got its... Wait, was it Blockbuster that did it? Yada, yada, yada. Studio tried to sue Blockbuster et al. Out of existence, but as we know, that failed, and consumers liked the price and convenience of rentals, leaving Hollywood in a bit of dilemma, so they rigged their DVDs to self-destruct. Like, crazy. Right, it didn't last very long, honestly, but there was like self-destructing DVDs for a time. That's crazy. You had 48 hours to watch your movie. For example, if you buy a vinyl record and you theoretically play it until you die, however, the record can scratch and be unplayable. By Pirate's logic, we would also have to ask record companies to design records that never scratch or break. He's perfectly misunderstanding the point. Yeah. Yeah, basically. People were like, actually, a better analogy would be like a company sells you a vinyl record that like was made to scratch, essentially. Basically like this, a company sold you a self-destructing DVD, right? Without telling you it was a self-destructing DVD. And he's being like, oh, so you want companies to make DVDs that last forever? That's impossible. All DVDs degrade. This initiative is stupid. You're like, no, we want to stop companies from trying to sell you self-destructing DVDs. And he's like, oh, you want companies to just make unbreakable DVDs that never break or never scratch and never change or anything. It's a straw man.
responsible for balancing the game. That's the whole point. They're not indefinitely supporting it. They would just be responsible of leaving the game in an accessible state to the community while they would shut down the servers on their end. Like, they wouldn't need to go back through with a whole development team and, like, you know, tweak the game to be single player compatible. It just doesn't make sense. Like, I really do not understand that one. But apparently a lot of people latched onto that talking point from Pirate Software as something that Stop Killing Games was asking for and how unreasonable it was. Which, if that's what Stop Killing Games was asking for, it would be unreasonable. But that's not what it's asking for.
Nowhere in there does it say that it's directly targeting always online single-player games.
Oh, he's so close. He's so close to getting it.
It is vague, and because of that, it will impact.
He never has that light bulb moment. Well, he is correct in that statement. It's almost as if that's not what the initiative is asking for.
I know this part is once again
also,
just reinforced.
Shout out to all of y'all who told me to get a freaking air fryer. I got an air fryer, and it came with a little air fryer book. And in the book, it had like a pizza recipe. And I was like, wait, you can make a pizza in the air fryer? And so I made like some pizza dough, and I made a pizza in the air fryer, and it was so freaking good, dog. It was delicious. It was so simple. Because I have a freaking oven. The problem is the oven takes forever to preheat, right? And also, I don't have a pan, so it wouldn't have worked anyway. But like, having a convenient little thing on your counter, but being like, oh, you can make whatever you want in this. You can make a pizza in the air fryer. You can, yes. Maybe on Friday's stream, I'll show you how I make a pizza in the air fryer. And it's so easy. It takes like 30 minutes to make the dough. And you can make the dough the day before or the night before. And you leave it in the refrigerator. You pull it out. You split the dough up. We probably split it before you bundle it up. Basically, you just like kind of like roll it out and press it out because I don't have a freaking rolling pin because I'm cheap. So I roll it out with like a mason jar. Right? You just stretch it out. You push it out. You put it in the air fryer, a preheated air fryer for 2 minutes. And then you flip it over. And then you put your sauce and your cheese and your toppings on it, and you put it back in there for 6 minutes. And then it comes out so freaking delicious. It's so good. And then you just clean it up. You know, you put the basket back in. And then you're like, okay, now I want something different. And so you open up a frozen bag of chicken tenders. You throw that in the air fryer. It cooks that too. Like, okay, I want something different. Right? You want like a cake. You can put a freaking cake in and make a cake in the air fryer, dog. You can make whatever you want in the freaking air fryer. It's so nice. Or you do what I do and you get one with 2 trays. True. I will say if you get an air fryer, you need an air fryer with a basket. Right? I've lived my life with an air fryer with the basket, an air fryer that's like a toaster oven that's basically just like a standing oven, and then I'm back to an air fryer with the basket. Air fryer with the basket is so much better. Right? It's so much better because you don't want the hassle of like taking the tray out and like it takes up so much like horizontal space on your desk for like that toaster oven-y thing. And you can't like shake things around. If you want to do fries, you can't like easily shake things around with the handle because there's no handle. You need a separate like oven mitt. Basically, you basically have a tiny oven, which is good for like a college dorm room or whatever. But like, get yourself an air fryer with a basket. You need to get air fryer liners too for easy cleanup when you get a chance. Well, I don't think I can make a pizza with the air fryer liner. But I think also at that point you can use a parchment paper. The rice cooker is easy. Clap. True. Look at my shot video about the air fryers. True. So yeah. Also, I bought another pan. So now I have one stainless steel pan, one nonstick pan for my eggs, and then one pot. Honestly, the way I'm talking, it sounds like I'm like living like a struggle lifestyle. Like I could only afford one pan, and now I can afford 2. But like, you kind of get everything you need. Cast iron. I also had a cast iron back at my apartment. It just it's such a hassle to deal with. The same thing with like stainless steel, right? If you want to make something very, very simple, like just you want to scramble a few eggs, cast iron in stainless steel is just so much more of a hassle to deal with than just a very simple 8-inch nonstick skillet, you know, or like a pan, right? Cast iron is great and stainless steel is great for like cooking steaks. You don't want to cook a steak on like a Teflon nonstick pan, right? Or his friend is such a clutch for stainless steels. It cleans so well. I might need that. Just don't scratch the nonstick. Yeah, the problem is a lot of people just don't know how to freaking cook. And so you're using like metal like forks to like fry or cook their eggs on their nonstick. Why are you scratching the freaking Teflon, bro? Number one, you're ruining the nonstick coating. And number two, that's just toxic. Because I think it's great if you want to put your pans in the oven. True, but I just don't like the oven. You know? I got the air fryer because I don't want to deal with the oven. Teflon seasoning. Delicious. I mean, and I had to throw the pans away. Using plastic forks is cringe. You're not used to using forks at all. Just use a freaking spatula like a normal person. Right? Stop being lazy. Get yourself a silicone spatula. And use a spatula to cook your freaking eggs. Gosh darn it. Or a wooden spoon. I don't like cooking eggs with a wooden spoon. A wooden spoon also works. It does work for not scratching the Teflon. I just use a spatula. The spatula is a lot easier. Right? I use a wooden spoon for my stainless steel pan. My stainless steel pan and my wooden spoon are like this. They locked in. They're locked in. Right? But for my, wooden spoons for stainless steel, silicone for nonstick. That's the cheat code. Anyway, that was a long tangent about my air fryer. After stream, I'm going to go freaking make some more pizza dough, let it proof, and make pizza for lunch and dinner. Right? Because it's great because with the recipe that I have, it's you can get 4 separate pizzas out of like one not serving recipe thing. Right? It's super sick and it's also not that expensive. I guess this portable induction stove, it boils water so fast. It boils water so fast it's much easier to cook with. I would do that if I didn't have a stove. Honestly, I would be totally down with just having all counter space, not having a stove and not having an oven. Right? And then just having an induction cooker. My dad has one as well. Heat your stainless steel on a low medium for 2-3 minutes. Get some water and put pan in the water and beads dance around the surface. The pan is not heated correctly and it's therefore non-stick. Yeah, it's too much work. Non-stick is just so much easier. Saying this, but you don't cook jollof. I don't cook jollof rice. Electric kettles helped me so much when I was renting a room. Non-stick is superior. I won't say superior. I like my stainless steel, especially when it comes to cooking steak. I have a freaking I'm gonna treat myself to a ribeye. I have a ribeye in the refrigerator. Also, shout out to my girlfriend's grandmother, bro. She gave me, when I went to visit her, right? I was leaving and she was like, "Oh, Sean, take these 2 steaks with you." 2 full like 25 ounce T-bone steaks. I'm like, why do you have these to just give away? But I'll take them. Thank you so much. So yeah. Shout out her. She's great.
Forcing that he doesn't know what the Stop Killing Games movement is about. But I have to just show you this because it is so fascinating, because he himself literally calls out that Stop Killing Games at no point explicitly mentions single-player always online games or anything like that. And for some reason, instead of following the breadcrumbs that would naturally lead him to the conclusion of, oh, maybe I misunderstood. Maybe, because it's absent here, that's not what this is actually about. Instead, he uses it as a criticism against the Stop Killing Games initiative entirely, saying it's just too vague, it's way too vague. The reason it is not explicitly stated there is because that is not what the whole initiative is about. It is not specifically targeting that thing that you keep saying that it is. I don't know how that never clicked.
But those were his streams with a smaller audience. What does he say in his big YouTube video with over 1 million views that he had time to research?
If we're trying to kill off the practice of developers putting together a live service game, pitching it as a single-player experience, and then taking away support in the future.
Now he's changed it again and is making up how it's about single-player games are advertised. What is he doing?
It needs to be specific about the business practice it's trying to defeat, which is specifically companies that are doing this under the guise of it being a single-player game, but adding online-only functionality that is not necessary and doesn't add any gameplay elements. That's the problem.
No, that's not it at all.
This is a really strong section from Ross here because the clips that you saw moments ago were from his stream. When he took more time to watch it and digest it, he still came back in that video misrepresenting it. Like, it never dawned on him. Like, on stream, he could write it off as like, oh, yeah, he didn't grasp it.
He's disingenuous. That's just what the answer is, right? He's just disingenuous, right? He wants to misunderstand it, right? Because he's advocating for the publisher side. He's like, he's not on your side.
Moment, maybe later on he did. Well, then he made the video where he still was talking about things that are just not what Stop Killing Games was about, and this was the one that really blew up and really started to kind of dismantle the Stop Killing Games momentum.
If we don't like the idea of live service games as a whole, I get it. Don't play live service games then. Don't agree to those terms.
No, he's getting a new thing wrong now. We're not against them existing, we're against them being destroyed with no recourse for the customer.
Pirate Software then goes on to talk about like the business practice of misleading consumers into thinking that what they're buying is a product as opposed to a license to a product, which is a totally separate thing. And then he criticizes Stop Killing Games for not being specific about that thing that he is bringing up as opposed to what Stop Killing Games is talking about. So he's using that against them for some reason. And then Ross goes into like the license talk.
Our problem is not with licenses failing to inform people. Blizzard says they can take away your purchase for no reason. That sounds pretty clear to me. Our problem is those terms are so hostile to consumers and the medium that they should be taken off the table entirely. This needs regulation. Forget video games. If you look at basic commerce for hundreds of years, when you paid money, you either got to keep what you paid for, or if it was a service, you were told when your access ends. The vast majority of online-only games do neither of those.
He's exactly right. That is a huge problem. Now, Pirate Software is correct here about these companies that will mislead consumers through this fraudulent advertising on what you're actually buying, because in a lot of cases, you don't own any of the shit that you're buying. It is pretty much a rental. You get a permission slip to access the content. That is an issue, and not making it abundantly clear to consumers that that was your that is what you are buying.
That's how I feel when I speak on streams sometimes. Sometimes I just can't get my words out. That's how I be. You know, Charlie, I feel you. Charlie, I feel you.
Problem, and so too is the actual agreements, as Ross demonstrates with Blizzard, where it says they can just completely terminate it for no reason at all. It really does go against the basic idea of commerce entirely. Video games are in a totally different ball game when it comes to that, because half the time you don't realize that you're just buying an admission ticket to a game. You're not actually buying the game. You also don't know how long that's going to last. Again, to go back to Concord, that shit lasted less than a fucking, fucking rainstorm, basically. Like, there is just so many problems. So I don't know why Pirate Software would be so harsh on Stop Killing Games for not addressing specific things that he himself is bringing up or making up in regards to it. It just doesn't compute. It really is a video that did...
Oh, speaking of soda, by the way, chat, right? If you watch my streams, you know that I have an addiction when it comes to soda, right? Just I once I start, I cannot stop. Really? Yes. Just it's soda all day, every day. And every time I tried diet soda, it was so bad. It's so gross. Right? I couldn't deal with it. But soda is also just very unhealthy. But I tried Dr. Pepper Cherry, 0 sugar. And it's actually not bad. It's actually not bad. It's pretty good. I expected it to be disgusting, but I'm like, my first I drank it when it was like straight out of the box. It was like warm. And I was like, this isn't great. You could still taste like an aftertaste or whatever. But I threw it in the refrigerator. I drank it cold. I was like, all right, I see. Sound crazy, but Zero Sugar Mountain Dew Baja Blast is goated. I love Baja Blast. Because I'm not opposed to Zero Sugar. I had the strawberry cream soda Zero Sugar. I have not. I've had the cream soda regular Dr. Pepper ones, which were good. I haven't had the Zero Sugar ones. Zero Sugar Baja Blast is terrible. Don't tell me that, please. Don't tell me that. It's gonna make me freaking cry. Blackberry is amazing. Is it blackberry zero sugar? Because if it's zero sugar, like I think if I can go from drinking full sugar sodas to zero sugar sodas, I can go from drinking zero sugar sodas to drinking like more water. I still drink water, but like when I have a soda in my freaking hand, it's just it goes down, you know. I freaking love soda. But if I drink like if I have like a can of, I'd rather have myself have a can of zero sugar than I have a can of regular soda, just from like a health conscious perspective, right? But also, okay, this if we're speaking about like healthiness, right, and things of that nature, I swear I can lose like 10 freaking pounds, 15 pounds. I cannot get rid of my gosh darn freaking love handles, chat. Does anybody else have freaking stubborn love handles? Like they just will not go away, and I hate my life. I'm almost there. I'm almost to the point where I can feel comfortable without my shirt on, but then I just look and it's just like freaking fat, just like right here. I'm like, ah. Love handles are goated. I don't want the freaking love handles. Love handles are gifts from God. Embrace it. I can't embrace it. It's hard in LA to feel good about normal bodies. Yeah, I think I've done decently to stay in a decent shape. But I did see a picture of myself without a shirt on when I was working out pretty consistently for like 2 years ago, and I do look significantly better. I'm just like, love handles are still there. But I'm just like, do ab twist, and that's my problem. I cannot stand core exercises. I can't. I hate them. It's not even that they hurt per se, but it's just like just the thought of doing them makes me want to old yeller myself. Like I can, you know, bicep, tricep, chest, back. I'm fine. Legs, I'm like cool, whatever. But as soon as I think about getting on the floor for like freaking like crunches or sit-ups or ab twists or Russian twists or planks or mountain climbers, I feel like jumping off a bridge. I feel like jumping off I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. Standing abs. I love planks. I can't stand planks. I can't do it. You have to do cardio to lose belly fat. I am doing cardio, right? So developing like your abs is still a part of it, and it is important.
So someone.
We're not gonna sit here and watch Chloe Ting do Okay. Also, to be fair, there was this girl that I talked to for like a week. It didn't last very long at all. In high school, that apparently is also like a super famous like Instagram like fitness influencer. Let me see if I can find how many followers she has. What was her name? I don't remember her name. I do remember. She has a knowledge panel, bro? That's crazy. She has a knowledge panel and I don't have a knowledge panel? It says internet personality. Are you joking? Are you serious? She has 100,000 followers on subscribers on YouTube, 186,000 followers on Instagram, 153,000 followers on TikTok. Hey, good for her though. Link up to get in shape for content. I have not talked to her in like years. But you fumbled a fitness baddie? To be fair, I not only fumbled a fitness baddie and I fumbled a hair care baddie. I also don't want to say fumbled because like it wasn't really gonna go anywhere anyway. Would Dr. Umar have approved? 100%. Right? Now I'm dating a makeup baddie. So, yeah. We love to see it. True. Start a one-sided beef with who? Like Chloe Ting? So you attract talented women? Some may say.
If you have noticed, over the last 10 or 11 months, I've been a lot happier. Glowing, really, radiant. You can tell probably just from...
We're finishing this film. We got so distracted. Significant
damage to an actually positive initiative that aimed to help consumers in the video game space. All based on his complete misrepresentation of it, which was a complete mess.
If you try to tell me that every studio needs to run their live service game indefinitely or not want to run one at all, then no one's going to run them.
Oh no! He wheeled out that line about publishers having to support the game forever. He was literally watching the video earlier where it says it won't do that in big letters. That wasn't enough. We just can't...
Joke's on you. You expect pirate software to read.
Stop gamers from going there, even when we spell it out.
That's the last clip I want to show from this section on the pirate software video, but it's a very important one because this is something a lot of people also think the Stop Killing Games initiative is about, where developers, publishers will have to support their games forever. Like, until the fucking heat death of the universe, they'll have to support these games under the initiative. When that is not the case. It is very simply asking that when the game has reached the end of its life cycle, the publishers, developers don't want to work on it any longer, to turn it over to the community to still be in a playable, accessible state so the product can still exist. There is some more nuance, obviously, to how that works, given, like, publisher-developer licensing and a lot of, like, the code, the binary, that kind of thing. There is a lot at play under the hood there, of course, but it is something that Stop Killing Games isn't naive to, and it is something that is talked about. But I'm not going to dive too deep into it. I encourage you to check more in on it, but...
That's pretty much the pirate software portion of this video. You're probably up late catching up on the VOD. Let me die. I appreciate it. Thanks for the support. But I do want to get into pirate software's apparent response to that section. I'm curious about that.
My voice alone and this striking smile. So what is the secret to this newfound happiness of mine?
Oh, okay. Going from 1.25 times Charlie to normal Charlie is like, it feels like watching like the tortoise and the hare a little bit, you know?
The one trick doctors don't want you to know. I haven't been on...
kind of serious in sport. You can keep your head up. He's having a legit mental health crisis. He's gonna crash out and burn soon enough. Yeah, just like a dying star. Let him fizzle. Well, to be fair, dying stars explode in a massive supernova that takes out everything in its vicinity. So maybe not like a dying star. Anyway.
Line as much. I've been going outside far more frequently, spending time in the real world. And as such, I'm sure many of you have noticed over the last 10 or 11 months, internet drama hasn't been a huge focal point of the channel because I haven't seen a whole bunch of it. I haven't kept up with the vast majority of it. And of course, occasionally I've still dipped my tootsies in some of it, like if there's something particularly wacky going on, and I still cover like news and crazy shit going on with aliens and all of that kind of thing, or if there's like a really cringe, prankster that got arrested or something, I'll still talk about that.
Also apparently Ray's anime studio has a new series out on Webtoon called Bad Influence. Or not anime studio, technically media company. We'll get that in a second.
But it's not like a fixation for me like it used to be over the last few years where I was covering any and all internet creator space hoopla. And I want to keep it that way. I'm having a lot more fun not doing that. That being said, there is something that has unfolded here that's like the John Wick killing the dog moment that's bringing me back, just very temporarily. And it's pirate software. Yesterday I talked about Stop Killing Games. And there's no way to talk about Stop Killing Games without also mentioning pirate software because of the profound effect he has had on that initiative in its demise. I say demise, but it's not actually fully cooked, but it has been on life support, and pirate software did play a big role in that because of 2 videos he made, as well as a stream, shitting all over it. And that's not even doing it justice. He was full-blown tooting on this. He was shitting on it with some fart on top. And a lot of what he was saying about Stop Killing Games wasn't accurate. It was a misrepresentation of the initiative. And the guy behind it, the guy spearheading it, Ross, finally set the record straight on a lot of the misconceptions that pirate software helped to put out there and kind of exacerbate these thought processes that just weren't accurate for what the initiative was actually aiming to do. He finally set the record straight, and I, of course, wanted to talk about it as someone who does actually care about it. Now, as I've said, I've been a little more off the grid. I'm on a fucking farm, so I've been, living off the Lord's land recently, and I've missed a lot of the internet happenings. So, pirate software's previous anime arcs of drama...
I don't know. Ask Ethan, bro. I don't know. I don't know.
World of Warcraft, and the one after that, and the one after that, and the one after that, and the one after that. I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to. I only got little tiddlywinks, little morsels of lore about it in a few clips, so I never really even understood what was going on there. So Pirate Software's response to everything that happened yesterday really caught me by surprise. That was a subversion of my expectations, bigger than Game of Thrones Season 8.
Yeah. Wait, so are we saying it was a bad response? Oh, no. What? You're telling me Pirate Software could not own up and take accountability for a very good faith critique of the words that he himself had said, and he doubled down and tripled down in an emotional response immediately? What? That's so out of character for him. That's so out of character for him. What? That's crazy.
Hutcher, I think it's really hilarious to me that entire community is so butt mad at me for putting out a video.
My surprise. That was a subversion of my expectations, bigger than Game of Thrones Season 8.
Yeah, Hutcher, I think it's really hilarious to me that entire community is so butt mad at me for putting out a video 10 months ago about their stuff and then not being refuted, and now it's my fault that everything is going wrong for them.
I cannot believe his ego. His ego is so out of control, I feel like he's only a week or two away from exclusively referring to himself in third person, like Stone Cold fucking Steve Austin. And
honestly, you could probably find a clip of Pirate Software doing that. You could probably find a clip of Pirate Software referring to himself as Thor. I guarantee it exists. I guarantee it exists.
Truth, because Pirate Software said so. Some shit like that. It's crazy how he's responded. The smugness is nails on a chalkboard. It just makes you feel icky listening to it. And he goes on that same talking point multiple times.
It's so vindicating to see see Charlie as mad at Pirate Software as like the rest of the space has been, because his again, it's the arrogance. It's the arrogance that just irks me. It's the arrogance that irks me.
About how, like, oh, I guess I'm fully to blame. I guess because I made those videos 10 months ago, it's my fault entirely that this whole thing crashed and burned. Yep, oh boy, time to play a sad song on the world's smallest violin for the Stop Killing Games movement, all because Big Bad Pirate Software took it all down by himself. Like, it's crazy. No one's saying that. Like, there is no one out there that is saying it is entirely Pirate Software's fault that Stop Killing Games hasn't been more successful in its endeavors. But there's irrefutable evidence that you had a detrimental effect, a majorly damaging effect on Stop Killing Games because of your misinformation.
Also, but the weird part about it is if he actually hated the campaign, or if he actually didn't support the campaign, he should be fine with the campaign failing, right? To a certain extent. But now he's like trying to pretend that like he was like, you know, not at fault for the misinformation that surrounded it.
That you spread about it in 2 videos and across all your streams, and not once have you bothered to correct that record. And he has said that it hasn't been refuted in 10 months. That is fish paste. That is turbo horseradish.
I refute it. I mean, nobody knows me. No one listens to me. As Ethan Klein set up a nobody. Did you even deal with the raid? Hello, welcome in. You've raided the most litigious or the most litigated man on the planet. That's right, it's me, Sean the Black. I hope you had a good stream. Yeah, I heard. It's crazy. Anyway, let's continue.
Go to your own comment section on your videos to see everyone refuting you, as well as the innumerable other gamers and voices out there that have taken down those talking points and debunked a lot of them and proven that you just didn't understand it. And that is the big problem. No one hates Pirate Software because he doesn't agree with Stop Killing Games. The reason so many people are angry at him, myself included here, you can disagree with the movement all you want. If you don't like the initiative, I'm not your fucking dad. You make your own choices there. But the reason so many people, myself included, do not like how Pirate Software is handling all this is he is refusing, outright refusing, to just admit any level of fault, that he was wrong about anything, and that couldn't be.
This is okay. You know what this reminds me of, chat? This reminds me of Hassan finally learning about the way Ethan's been operating for the last year, right? And coming to the same conclusions that people have been saying about Ethan for the last year as well. Like, this is what people have been saying about Pirate Software, whether it was the Stop Killing Games initiative, whether it was about his roaching in World of Warcraft, whether it's about his like nepotism position, whether about his Asmongold position. Like, this has been a consistent through line for Pirate Software. And this, like, I don't even want to call it anger, but this frustration to be like, why can you never seem to take accountability for your role in the things that you decide to involve yourself in? Right? It's just how a lot of the space has been feeling for Pirate Software. Switching about being cybersecurity as well, if I recall correctly. I don't really know much about that. But yeah, he's a nepo baby pirate. Oh, don't call him that. He will be very mad. He will send his fans to attack you if you say such things. But there is certain. His father worked at Blizzard for 30 years, essentially. And he got his first job as a QA tester at Blizzard at was 16 years old. And he claims he's not a nepo baby. Here, I have it. I talk about it in this video as well. Where's it at? I know for a fact I talked about it in this video. Here. You've been at red.
Nepo baby.
When I hit.
Happening was like, that's weird. And then you apparently had, this is what Sarah said. This happening with Jason as well, potentially.
Me? Mashable, you can eat it. This is up. And that really pisses me off.
Oh, he's not a nepo baby?
When I was 16 at Blizzard, as a game tester for 6 months. I got that because my dad worked there for 23 years. My dad is a director of cinematic.
He's a director? That's what a nepo baby is. Are you kidding me? Like, I like this guy. Don't get me wrong. I like Pirate Software. That's what a nepo baby is. Do you know how hard it is to get a first job in tech? It's so gatekept to women, black people, people of color. Like in that order. I mean, that's so seriously. How do you have the audacity to turn on the goddamn camera? How can you be so out of touch?
Did he contact the website to have them remove the nepo baby part? Yeah, he was like doing a whole campaign to be like, how did? And the funniest part is that it was not even like a contentious article, right? It wasn't even contentious. It was pro Pirate Software. He just took issue with that singular part that described him as, you know, a nepo baby for getting a job, his own words, because his father was a director at Blizzard for 23 years. Not a director for 23 years. His father worked at Blizzard for 23 years and was a director. right? At 16 years old as a game tester, not as a QA tester. My bad. Yeah, so Sarah was telling me that Jason had gotten death threats for this clip. He's not even wrong, right? He's not even wrong. He's not incorrect. But like he got
Chat, can somebody explain to me why more white guys get called Nepo babies than people of color? I was born yesterday. I don't know.
So yeah. So there was that. There was the bait and switch. There you go. So that was the thing. He hates being called a Nepo baby. He hates it. Nepo baby isn't necessarily personally derogatory. It's something that we want to discipline society as a whole and making it more fair. Yeah, it's not a slight on the individual or their work ethic or their character. Like, it would not be incorrect to define Hassan as a Nepo baby to a certain extent, right? It doesn't diminish the work that Hassan has done to get to the point where he is, right? Yeah, it's not a moral judgment, but it's the descriptor of the assistance that you had to arrive at at the position. You got a leg up from someone, for other people, because of your background, right? And taking that and going from, 14 average viewers on Facebook to being the 6th most watched streamer in the world doing politics, that's not something that can be attributed fully to like being a Nepo baby. Same with Pirate Software. Pirate Software, his lump sum, the totality of his time in tech cannot be reduced down to being simply only because of this one thing, which is nobody's saying that, but that did help, right? That was a part of the journey. And you have to talk about that being a part of the journey. You can't deny it. Like, and that's okay, right? And everybody has their own privileges. Right? Everybody has their own things that give them a leg up than other people. Like having the time to stream, right? More time to stream, and having a work from home job gives me more of an opportunity to do this full time the way that I do it than somebody who just doesn't have that. They would have to sacrifice more to be able to try to be a streamer, right? There's levels to privilege, and you can't just be like, oh, well, this doesn't matter because I've worked so hard. It's still there. Muslim Nepo babies, I know, acknowledge it, and those who don't are usually insecure and don't want their work discredited, but are being dumb. Yeah.
Outright refusing to just admit any level of fault, that he was wrong about anything.
And that, how did you get out of this lawsuit? I don't know. I have no clue. You have to ask Ethan about that. I'm just sitting here trying to mind my business, talk about, the Mana Gem, okay? I would rather talk about the Mana Gem drama. Please. Leave me alone. Let me be.
Couldn't be more clear from these clips as well as his tweets that he's made. It's actually his tweets that really sent me off the fucking rails here, off my gourd. Let's start with this little nugget here that he deleted from last night. So he tweeted directly at Ross, the guy behind Stop Killing Games, talking about how he made those videos 10 months ago, and since then...
he knows he can just reach out, right? Like, he knows he can reach out to Ross and be like, hey, this is a misunderstanding. This is my perspective. Right, and it's try to handle like that. But I think a lot of times people devolve into public responses because they can get like dunks and owns by having more likes. People are more likely to do a public response because they have their audience feeding back into them,
Community Ross, the guy behind...
This includes me, by the way, as well. Sometimes I would respond publicly when I could have probably reached out privately. Right, because ego things. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm above it.
Stop Killing Games, talking about how he made those videos 10 months ago, and since then his community has been nothing but hateful, a scourge, a fucking tyrannid threat that he must destroy. Your community is fucking rabid, and it's shit to deal with for anyone on the other side of the argument. Why do you think I haven't talked about this shit in 10 months? Why do you think we auto-mute anyone bringing it up in chat? Because it's been rage bait and shit-flinging the entire time. And just goes on about, like, how he is the victim of...
But, like, nobody asked him to talk about it. So, Stop Killing Games existed. He talks about it, makes a shitty take about it. and then gets mad when people call out his shitty take about it, mutes people in chat automatically who talk about it. And he's sitting here act like he's like was drug into this. You weren't. You didn't have to talk about it. The thing is, Ross has been around for 12 years, making massive video essays that are 2 hours, 2+ hours long, talking about the industry. Pirate Software knows him. There's no way he's just being ignorant. Yeah.
Ross's toxic, terrible community, which is hilariously hypocritical coming from Pirate Software, when in his videos and his streams, he makes it very clear and is very rude about how much he dislikes not only Ross, but the movement. And it's not like he's being very professional and polite about it, you know, buttoned up. Listen to it.
So this was my first encounter of him.
Oh shit, no, this is actually really dumb. It's used car salesman garbage. This is shit. It's shit. Not only do I not want to back this, I'm going to actively tell people not to. That is awful. That is a horrible goddamn direction. That's awful.
He's also doing like the Ethan Klein thing, like how Ethan was like acting like, what, I never wanted the creative classroom to fail, right? Pirate Software was like, wait, why everybody being so beanie to me, right? I just had a disagreement. He's like, no, I'm going to actively tell people not to back this because this is stupid. You're dumb. You know, you're gross, icky, poopy heads. You're dumb. You're stupid. And I'm going to weaponize my entire audience against your initiative.
No, eat my entire ass. The level of stupid that I just had to receive was like sitting on Twitter for 12 hours. This shit sucks. That's a really stupid ass move. That's an incredibly stupid ass move. I think this is ass. This is complete garbage. All of this can eat shit then. I dropped the mask entirely. I have no qualms about that. They can eat my entire ass. The whole thing. That sounds stupid as shit.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Jeez Louise, this guy's not very nice. That chat, you don't understand. Those are just mild disagreements. He just disagrees a little bit, you know? Tinwin, thank you for the prime. Much appreciated.
Ross and his community that are actually the assholes here.
Spiraling over people attempting to hold him accountable. It's Pirate Software. It's that every time. You can take that sentence and apply it to any time you see Pirate Software in the title of any video, and it's probably going to be correct. It is probably going to be correct. That is the most consistent thing about this person, besides his like you know. Besides his like wait, hold on, where's that? His like wait, it didn't work.
Says, she's my African
hold on.
Death Dying just subscribed.
There we go. Besides his like super deep voice, you know. That's definitely one of the more consistent parts of the Pirate Software mythos. It's just him spiraling over people attempting to hold him accountable.
There we go. I fixed it.
Brother, come on. You can't possibly be calling the wambulance with a side of French fries here about people being mean to you.
I like that. Okay. That caught me off guard. It's one of my favorite Charlieisms.
Brother, come on. You can't possibly be calling the wambulance with a side of French fries here about people being mean to you when you are literally the one that...
The wambulance with a side of French fries.
It started the shit flinging and name calling. And by the way, Ross never even addressed this for 10 months because he didn't want to dilute the initiative into just having it be boiled down to drama between creators, which I think was actually very big of him. The only reason he's talking about it now is because it's at the end of its life and so many people still don't understand it because of someone like Pirate Software misrepresenting it. So he's finally setting the record straight there. Anyway, he did delete that tweet, but just a little while ago, he made a new tweet, a very long tweet, as well as a series of tweets under it in regards to this whole thing.
Okay. Throw anybody who tweets more than the character limit in jail. I'm sorry. Straight to jail. Throw them in jail. I know, Sean, you're an abolitionist. You don't like jail. You don't like prison. You're a prison abolitionist. Yeah, jail. Throw them in jail. Lock them away. And then eat the key. Okay? Gosh darn it. Please. Too many words for a tweet.
And in all these words, all this mumbo
jumbo, like a normal person. Yeah, who's trying to read all this? I ain't reading all that.
Jumbo, not once does he say he was wrong about anything. In fact, he just continues to double down, even proudly stating he is doubling down. Wow, how incredibly noble, doubling down on things you are provably, blatantly wrong about. We don't need to hit the Jumbotron for the replay on yesterday's video going over so many of the things that he was incorrect about in regards to the initiative. But the point is, that is an issue that I really thought that he would address. Be like, hey, yeah, I did get this part wrong. You're right, guys. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to misrepresent it. I still don't fully agree with it, but I do.
He can't do that. When you craft an entire personality on being the smartest person in the room, you can never be seen as dumb, right? In your mind. When your entire persona is this pompous, smarter than you figure, right? If I position myself as I am smarter than you, the moment you consider to say, hey, maybe I was incorrect on this, right? You lose your credibility, which is why I don't attempt to make myself seem like I'm the smartest person in the room, right? Which is why I will acknowledge when I was incorrect, or when I got something wrong, or if I'll try to be fair. I'm not too familiar with Power Software, but the root cause seeker and me took over to dig into his Dr. K interview to understand him and his worldview. I haven't seen it. I heard it was bad though.
Do recognize that I had some errors here in my coverage. That's what I was expecting. That is not what we got. And it prompted me to reach out directly to him, to talk to him, to see, like, why isn't he acknowledging that? Is there a reason? Like, what is going on there?
Okay, let me guess. He talked about it on his stream. He went on his stream. He was like, Charlie reached out to me and this is what he said. Yada, 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 yada. That's what my guess is. Let's see.
So I did. He made it very clear he was not very happy with my coverage of Stop Killing Games, which is fine. I think that's totally fine. I'm not going to leak DMs or really go in depth on our private conversation, but the point of me reaching out to him was to talk about...
They had a conversation in DMs. Okay. I thought he was going to be like, hey, Charlie reached out to me. This is what he said. No, but apparently Power Software was not happy about the coverage that Charlie gave to the situation.
My coverage of
Stop... Yeah, I was incorrect. I was wrong. I'll take you down on this.
Stop Killing Games, which is fine. I think that's totally fine. I'm not going to leak DMs or really go in depth on our private conversation, but the point of me reaching out to him was to talk about...
Thor's been posting the DMs anyway? No, you're lying to me. You're lying. He did not leak the DMs. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Because this will be a common Sean the Black vindicated moment. That would be insane.
His refusal to acknowledge that he did, maybe unintentionally, misrepresent Stop Killing Games, and it led to a just shy of 2 hours, like, circular argument that ultimately got us nowhere. He was more focused on his qualms with Stop Killing Games, and really liked to challenge me to prove him wrong about some of his hang-ups with it, and when I would mention, like, the behavior aspect, like, hey, you did misrepresent it, and I'd give him a timestamp, he'd then instead say how I'm wrong for thinking that he misrepresented it. We got nowhere. So I want to just publicly say this again. There are plenty of things you can disagree with when it comes to the Stop Killing Games initiative.
Moise responded in a comment during his stream last night about Thor apparently posting in his Discord. Moise said that he didn't know what he got out of it and just makes Thor look bad. That's okay. I'm fine with like finding Charlie saying that because that would be insane. That would be crazy to do. Okay, he didn't really talk about Thor. Let me see. Pirate. Oh. Okay, here.
Just those specific locations. That was 100% worth storing here. Yeah, I know Pirate Software is posting our DMs in Discord. I don't know why he would do that, because it makes him look really bad. Not only the act of publishing them, but he looks really bad in the DMs. I don't know why he would do that.
What?
I think that is a very weird decision.
That's bro he cannot take accountability. Bro cannot take a single amount of accountability. Charlie wasn't even like blasting him. He was just saying we just disagreed. It was a cyclical conversation. We got nowhere. Okay, I need to see why did he post it? Why did he post it? What could he possibly have been trying to say? Let's see. DMs. I just want to know what the context of, like, was he just like, hey guys, let me just expose what Charlie said in our messages or whatever, just like out of nowhere? Like, there has to have been a reason why he's like, he felt the need to like publish the DMs to his Discord. That's crazy. That's crazy.
But I know he's doing it.
Okay, that's the same. Then he moves on. Oh, that's wild. I mean, posturing yourself as the moral superior in a discussion, or being like, see, I have nothing to hide, I must be right, is wild. But they wouldn't be the first time. It wouldn't be the first time someone behaved this way. Oh no, I did see this. This was yeah, I did see that. Pirate software just kind of sucks. I think a lot of, again, that's what I say. I think a lot of people get a lot of leeway by being shitty people because they have a large following. Right? And because of the thin purple line, nobody wants to call these other people out. Charlie's actually breaking the thin purple line right now. He's actually, you know, breaking the thin purple wall of silence by calling out pirate software.
I'll put links to it if you want to learn more about it. You can form your own opinions on it if you want to support it. If you don't like it, that's fine. That's super normal. And I didn't reach out to try and champion that pirate software should become, you know, a huge ambassador of Stop Killing Games.
What is Slotkin saying, bro? What is wrong with the Democrats? What is wrong with the Democrats? Does the purple line apply to YouTube? Yes, it does. We should ban cell phones in every K-12 classroom in America. In a time where there are record high school shootings, yeah, this is take off the singular lifeline. The singular lifeline for students. Right? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. One, we're not going to actually solve school shootings. But two, you will no longer hear the last messages from your 12-year-old child, right, in the 6th grade, right? No, we will not save or stop the school shootings. We will not save the children. We'll just make it so like you will no longer be able to hear their last words anymore. You're going to have to guess what their last words were because they didn't have a phone to call you with to tell you that a school shooting was happening.
Now, all of this starts with K through 12 education. Let's state the obvious. We need to recruit and pay teachers better. We need to reduce class sizes. We need to drastically update our curriculum, especially in science and math. And we need to thoughtfully introduce AI into schools.
So you're going to ban phones, K through 12, but introduce AI into the classrooms? What is this? What is this world that we live in? Right? You know what I hate the most about AI? It is not the environmental impact. That sucks. It's not the anti-worker impact. That sucks. Right? It's not the artist theft. That sucks. What I hate most about AI and how it's used in schools is that the art form of cheating is gone. It's lost. Cheating has been around forever in school, but now it's just, oh, I plugged this into ChatGPT and it gave me an answer that may or may not be correct. I don't care to find out. And that's it. Whatever happened to breaking into the teacher's classroom in their desk, stealing the test, right? And trying to memorize the answers then? Whatever happened to there? Whatever happened to scholastic espionage? It just doesn't happen anymore. Because all the answers have been fed into ChatGPT already.
I live like a capitalist every single day.
Cognitive offloading is going to hurt. Critical thinking is devastating.
ReedyCXC just subscribed.
That too.
Loki, we gonna need a Butlerian jihad to save the minds of the youth where Paula trades at FR.
True. Red CXY, thank you for the 16-month resubscription. Much appreciated.
Balancing the need to prepare young people with the need to develop good old-fashioned critical thinking skills. But as we increase technology in schools, we also have to acknowledge where technology is already harming our kids.
Oh my goodness. Oh, this party is so stupid. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. They're like, yeah, so we've learned that mercury, not good to have in the waters, right? We need to be wary about what we are putting in the waters, right? Because it's dangerous. That's why we're building all of our pipes out of lead. That's right. We're replacing all of the mercury in our pipes with lead. We have to be very careful about the harm with the harm that we're causing the kids, and technology is super harmful, right? So no more phones, but we're replacing the phones with AI. That will solve the issues about harmful technologies. Are you joking? Are you joking?
Too many students are lagging in the people and problem-solving skills that will be even more valuable in the future economy, and that's largely because of social media and cell phones. To that end, we should ban cell phones in every K-12 classroom in America. Congress and the courts should hold social media companies.
What do they think this is going to do, by the way?
Through 12 classroom in America. And we should ban cell phones in every K-12 classroom in America. Congress and the courts should hold social media companies accountable for using algorithms that get our kids addicted to extreme content. Rules of the road for AI are absolutely vital. Because if we've learned anything from the internet revolution, the tech industry will not police itself.
Wow, okay, but sounds great, cool, awesome. What does banning phones do? I think you're kind of missing the point. That's why my mother worked for CPS and what's happening with kids in our school because of unfiltered access to cell phones has been absolutely destructive to kids' mental health. She's seeing more essay in grade 1 through 8 than she's seen in her career. Banning phones is not going to fix that, chatter. It's not. That's not an issue with phones in the classroom. That's an issue with content in general, right? And like them, okay, so those same students are going to go home, consume that same content at home, and then bring that to the schools. And the people who are there, the students who are there, will have no lifeline. Especially in a situation where growing school shootings, right? School shootings are increasing, you know, in this country. You cannot remove the students' singular lifeline, right, from the situation. Phones aren't the problem. The lack of teaching kids adequately is. Yeah. Would you want your kid being exposed to material by another kid? It's at least the start of fixing the problem. No, it's not. And that has happened for decades, chat. But that has happened before cell phones existed. Kids brought stupid shit to school all the time. I'm not saying it's good, but I'm saying that you're not fixing the issue. Like, you're not. You brought a PS3 to school? So how do you fix the issue then? Not with this. Not by banning phones and then introducing AI into schools. Right? I think she has a good point when it comes to reducing class sizes, hiring more teachers, and paying the teachers more, because the teachers can actually police the students. Like, they can't do it now when the classes have 50 people in it. Right? When you have one teacher to every 35, 40, 50 students, right? It doesn't matter if they have phones in the classroom or not, right? Because guess what? We live in 2025. These kids are going to have multiple phones. Phones are cheap. They're going to buy a $30 phone off of eBay, put that in the little bin or whatever, and then they'll walk around with their own phone. That's what they're going to be doing. Because it's already happening. It's already happening now. There are schools right now where you have to lock your phone up and they just bring a second phone. Let's do nothing until we find out the solution. No, I'm telling you the solution, chatter. You're not listening. I literally just described you a solution. I said what she's doing about reducing class sizes is a good thing. That is a solution. If you go down from having a ratio of 1 to 30 for teacher to students to 1 to 15, maybe even 1 to 10, right? It's a lot easier for that teacher to watch what those 10 students are doing as opposed to 30 to 40 students in one classroom. Doing that in Quebec, Canada, and I'm fiercely against it. Just monitor students properly. Yeah. People have been trying to ban phones in schools since the 90s. It does nothing. It does nothing. I'm frustrated. Instead of banning phones, which is stupid, I incorporate them to lessons, allow them to have phones and interact with lessons. Yeah, that's the way you do it. Right? This is this one with technology in general, which is why you see a lot of laptops in school. And they used to ban all technology in school for a period of time, right? Where I'm from, right? But they realized that they couldn't ban all technology, so they incorporated it into the lesson. Kids had a little an iPad or a Chromebook. And people are less likely to open up their phones, right? People are less likely to hop on their phones when there are actual interactive lessons going on, right? Phones are escapism at schools. And so you fix the structure of schools. You make it so students actually want to be there. You have teachers who actually are paid well to care. And you have class sizes that are small enough so the teachers can actually address everything. You know how many kids graduate without knowing how to use a laptop, but they can operate a phone? Yeah, a lot of them. They got rid of a computer class. Rest in peace, computer classes. But like banning phones is not going to fix the issue. And again, school shootings. I feel like this is a crazy thing to propose without an answer to the school shooting problem. Like, solve school shootings, and then maybe we'll have a conversation about, banning phones. Abundant Senator Elizabeth Slotkin's economic message, according to WAPO. Supporting small businesses means Democrats need to stop demonizing rich people who are successful in their business. Ugh, jeez Louise, I hate the Democrats, bro. I hate the Democrats. Leave the businessmen alone. Stop demonizing the rich business people or whatever. How do we get here? Oh, pirate software. I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw a criminal post that I replied to that to this. So I just wanted to bring it up. Jeez Louise. But like, that was crazy. Democrats are stupid.
You know, out there on the fucking front lines fighting for it. It had nothing to do with that. It was simply about the misunderstanding that he showcased, maybe unintentionally, and the misrepresentation of it that he broadcast, again, maybe unintentionally, which has in turn, over the course of 10 months, misled people on what the fuck Stop Killing Games even is in the first place, which I found to be a problem because he's never even acknowledged that as something that has happened. And because he refuses to acknowledge that, and anyone that even, like, tiptoes around that subject, he kind of treats as though they're fucking idiots, like me, for thinking that he's misrepresented something. Now, he did just post a tweet where he said he talked to me and Josh Strife-Hayes, and in that tweet, this will prove how useless our conversation was, unfortunately, there's not a single peep about misrepresenting what Stop Killing Games was about. It's more so about how the public just doesn't understand game development, and it kind of reads to me like we're all just too stupid to understand it from his side of things. Our conversation basically amounted to toilet paper, unfortunately. Again, I was focused on, you have done this, maybe unintentionally, you should at least say that you have, or, like, you know, are you aware that you did this? And then it became more of like, nope, I didn't. You're wrong. And then he uses our conversation at the start of this for something that was not even the focus. I was not there to try and convince him to be part of Stop Killing Games. I don't think we made any ground on, like, his perspective versus mine on Stop Killing Games. He has some qualms about how difficult it would be in certain cases. I agree with that, for sure. I still think overall Stop Killing Games is a net positive for the gaming industry where something desperately needs to change with a lot of these awful practices. But for the 10 millionth time in the last
Also, Pirate Software's take is actually very similar to what you see in union busting as well, in that when you are advocating for something in a union setting, oftentimes the employer will talk about how difficult or how hard something is to do, when the answer is just like, suck it up, you got to do it, you know? Like, it's the right thing to do. Like, I'm like, the goal of Stop Killing Games is not to care about or advocate for what the publisher wants. Who cares about that, right? It's their job to propose the most I won't say radical, but the most comprehensive version of the plan, and for the publishers to then push back, and then some mediator to find some middle ground between the two, right? It's not their job to like propose the initiative that's like, oh, we took into account the publisher's perspective, and they said it would be super difficult and it will cost more money for this to happen, and we understand that, and so we're gonna add that into the complaint. Like, that's just not how it works.
Half hours. It was just about him having this awareness that his coverage did mislead people, and that he, maybe not maliciously or anything, misunderstood or misrepresented Stop Killing Games in numerous instances, and the way that he talked about Ross was unacceptable. That at least made it into the tweet there about the way he talked about Ross being like a fucking used car salesman type deal, and like calling everything about it ass. He at least recognized that was too harsh, so he gave a quick I'm sorry for that, which is good. I do appreciate that, and I'm sure Ross will appreciate that as well, I imagine. But I still wanted to make this video after the conversation because I just really do not understand, I truly cannot wrap my head around why he fights tooth and nail, coming for throats for anyone that tries to mention that there was misrepresentation in his coverage of the Stop Killing Games initiative. He is so hell-bent on proving he's right and everyone else is wrong that's saying these things. I just don't get it. He's just treating it like he's got the mega mind, once-in-a-generation galaxy brain that no one can possibly understand. All us plebeians are beneath him, and we're lucky that he even graces us with streams, and we're stupid for thinking that he did anything wrong here in regards to his coverage of Stop Killing Games and what it's actually about. It's just
that's his entire thing. And it's so gross.
Because if he would just come out and be like, yeah, you know what? Looking back on it, really reflecting, hearing what you guys are saying, I can see why this was so misleading for so many people. I didn't mean for it to be, and yeah, maybe I misunderstood some of these things. This would not have been nearly as big of a deal as it has turned into. And I went back and looked at some of his previous dramas, I suppose, and that is a common thread with Pirate Software. Like in World of Warcraft, he made a mistake, but he completely refused to acknowledge the mistake, and it made it a much bigger snowball into an avalanche for him, which led to a ton of other problems. He just has this inability to, like, accept that he can make mistakes. Like, he does things wrong sometimes.
Honestly, the Managem was the funniest thing. I know nothing about World of Warcraft, but like when I learned about that there was an item that he could have used very clearly to help give him an edge in the situation. And he's like, there's nothing I could have done. I had no mana, and the Managem was sitting right there. Like, at that point you realize, okay, this guy's silly, you know? This guy's silly. It's like somebody is like trapped inside of a burning house, and you're standing there next to it, and there's a crowbar next to you. And you're like, and that person dies. You're like, there's nothing I could have done. You're like, dog, there's a crowbar right there. Like, yeah, what you expect me to pry the door? You expect me to pry the door open with what? There's nothing for me to pry the door open with. I can do it with my hands. Like, there's a crowbar right there. He's like, I don't know what you mean. What are you talking about? Because he can't acknowledge that he's incorrect. He can't acknowledge that he's wrong. He can't just be like, hey, I made a mistake. I'm sorry for making that mistake. It took my bad. I brain farted. Yeah. Yeah. Or even if you don't want to acknowledge the mistake, afterwards, just being a little bit remorseful that some people lost their like level 60 characters or something. I don't know, World of Warcraft. Right? But like what I think is equivalent to like hours upon hours of investment. Just being like, I'm sorry. Right? I'm sorry for what happened in this instance. I tried my best. Or just something. But no, he's unable to take any responsibility or accountability. And the last is Stop Killing Games, anti-piracy, and Pirate Software is for piracy and a dev. No, it's the opposite. Stop Killing Games is pro-game preservation. Pirate Software is anti-game preservation and anti-piracy and a developer. Even a my bad. Yeah, it would have been simple. Just like, my fault, bro. My bad. Dozens of hours, not gonna lie. Nerd.
Okay to be like, yeah, I did do that wrong. You're right. I was incorrect in this. And it would save so much of a headache. But he just comes across as a narcissist. He really does, unfortunately. Like, I'm not an armchair Reddit psychologist here going to diagnose him as a narcissist or anything, but like, that's what it comes across as. He just refuses to admit that he ever does anything incorrectly. Admits no faults of his own, ever. Except, I suppose, to Ross here, which maybe like this is the beginning.
True! At least take the L and go down with the team.
Beginning of a big character development for Pirate Software. He did apologize to Ross for how he treated him and what he said about him. I think that's great. Would love to see that same kind of energy for understanding where people like myself are coming from with your coverage of Stop Killing Games and why people feel the way they do about what's happened since with your responses. But anyway, I won't keep yapping about it. That's really about it. So yeah.
Yeah. That was Charlie's video on Pirate Software. I was apparently Asmongold also had a video, but you know, I'm not watching that. Hey, that's me. Insert 50-cent meme. What a banger title. I'm saying he was too important because of his profession, and blah, saying we have 5 people who can do that took me out. That's so funny. Okay, cover this. Cover these. So we have the tech tone thing, which I don't necessarily really care about. Piracy is morally correct. It might be an interesting thing to watch as well. But I do want to talk about the title debated me to Klein, not gonna lie. But what, the insert 50-cent meme? I didn't think that would bait anybody to click in. Ugh. Yeah, I was like, which one? I want to know. I mean, it's kind of only one that the most famous one is just the one that kind of applies in this situation. Did you hear about the Phantom stuff? Phantom just deactivated his account after his cousin Digital Trap GEM, and fans call him out for not taking care of his family. This is not the biggest, like, most consequential thing, but I saw this on the toilet and I was just like, I didn't want to get into it, but I need to talk about what I saw here. Let's play this. Watch.
My beautiful aunt, as beautiful as ever, bendición tía. But I'm gonna be real with y'all. Congratulations to him and buying the Maybach and all that shit. But our aunt should have been there too. And actually, while he was at it, my mom should have been there too. His other aunt should have been there too. And if we being real, he should have fucking invited me too. If he had invited me, man, we could have really talked it out. It should have been.
You don't know the history? We don't know the history. But I did think That it's okay. I'll continue playing.
Invited our aunt and my mom as well, bro. Your other aunt. So all the 3 sisters could have been together, and then you should have invited me too. So we could have fucking settled our differences and figured out the next move as to how we were gonna take over. This shit is fucking.
He said how we were gonna take over. Right. Again, I don't want to get into like their whole family history. I don't think this should be aired out publicly. But it was kind of funny to see this. He was like, how like you should have invited my mom, you should have invited me. We could have hashed out what our differences are. Right? They talk about how we were gonna take over. I'm like, we. So it's not even that they have a good relationship, right? It's not even that they have a good relationship. They have a bad relationship. Like they are actively have differences. They're not talking right now. And he's on the internet talking about like, you should have invited me, right? You should have invited me. We could have hashed out our differences and talk about how we were going to take over. I was like, who is we here? Phantom has the audience. Phantom has the audience. Bro, we was about to make it big. We were about to get out the hood. You should have invited me, right? We were gonna make it. But no, Phantom made it, dog. He made it. And like, there's again, we don't know the discourse here. We don't know the situation here, right? And there's a conversation about like bringing up the people who are around you and how important it is to take care of family and stuff like that. But like, if y'all not talking, right? If you're not on good terms, you're not really entitled to much in that way, right? I still think that like community is important. If somebody is a part of your community, that as you are coming up, you should help out your community. As my streaming career has gotten successful, right? And I've made money here. I've been supporting, my siblings and my parents and helping out where I can, right? I think that's important. But like, you're not entitled to something because you're the cousin of somebody who's doing well, especially if you're not in a good relationship. Like, you don't have a good relationship with them. Like, you're actively in a contentious relationship here. And he's like, you should have invited my mom and your other aunts. They could have been together. And by the way, also you should have invited me. I should have been there, by the way. You should have brought me up too. You should give me money. Why? Again, I don't know the intricacies of what's going on here, but like, it's such a weird way to frame this conversation. Oh, but it's also, Chatter, do you have the bum clip? Somebody said that Phantom called him a bum and he was screaming that I'm not a bum.
So we could have fucking settled our differences and figured out the next move as to how we were going to take over. This shit is fucking crazy to fucking see, bro.
He said, you should have invited me over so we could figure out how our next move about how we were going to take over. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Look, again, if they were like if they were like actually friends, like if they were like actually like very, very close, again, I don't know. But from the way they were speaking, that's not necessarily the case. If they were like legitimately actually close, and they like started streaming together and then like Phantom did legitimately abandon him, right? Joined AMP and left him behind. I bet, okay, that's pretty shitty. That's not great, you know? But like, it doesn't even seem like that's the case. I looked this guy up. He's like has like 70 Instagram followers. You know what I mean? Like he's not a streamer. He's not a content creator. He has 70 Instagram followers and 70 Twitter followers and 700 Instagram followers. And that's it. He has one post on Instagram. So it's not like they were like in the trenches together and then Phantom like abandoned him. Right? He's just a random dude. Essentially. Like, that's crazy. So when he says like, bro, you should have invited me so we could figure out how we were going to take over. It's basically saying just, I just want access to you and what you can provide. Essentially. Right? And I hate to like, I don't like the positioning this as like, oh, he's asking for handouts or whatever. He needs to grind for himself. Right? Because I feel like if you're like a multimillionaire to a certain extent, like once you have that amount of money, you're kind of chilling. And for the people in your circle, if he's not in your circle, that's different, right? But if he's in your circle, I feel like helping out where you can is an important thing to do. Right? So I don't want to get into this whole like Sigma hustle grind set to be like, oh, I made $1 million. I'm gonna give you $100. Start your own streaming career. Build something for yourself from nothing. Like I'm not a fan of that, but like it doesn't even sound like they had a good relationship in the first place. Right? Like it sounds like they're just blood. And that's it. And that's crazy. I mean, if he was a good friend / family member, I'm sure that he'd be getting help. Yeah. Is what a Phantom said.
I seen some shit going around talking about I don't situate my peoples, this and that, all this other extra shit. Let me tell you something, bro. I don't support bum ass niggas, bro. I don't support bum energy. Damn. If you a bum, you a bum. You know what I'm saying? I can't, what am I gonna do with that? You a bum. You's a bozo, fam. I don't even know you like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, chat, nobody can get near me if they not on that. My little sister say, yo, pa, cause you don't see me say, pa, yo, ma, what up? You say, yo, pa, I wanna go to school. Go to school for what? I wanna be a dentist. Here, hold that, boom.
Exactly.
Hold that. What you want?
Exactly. That's entirely fair. That's exactly what I was saying. Right? He looking right there. No, he's correct. He's if you're in his circle, right? He got you. Say vibe with me as well. Yeah, that's how I grew up. That's how I grew up. That's how I was taught. So when my mom, my dad, my siblings asked for it, like Christmas came around, I was like, bro, don't even ask him. I got you. I gave him a little something. Cause like, you gotta support the people that are around you. But if you're not around me, don't try to come up here asking for anything. And that's what it sounded like when I saw this. It sounded like somebody who realized that he wasn't as good of a person to the person that he should have been a good of a person to. Right? And now he's feeling some type of way. And now he's clout farming, but trying to characterize Phantom as this sort of way so that he could try to garner some notoriety for himself. Right? And as Phantom said, that's bum energy. Right? Not even the fact that he's like not making something for himself, but the fact that he's trying to pull Phantom down to pull himself up. And that's crazy. That's crazy. I was working 80 hours a week in college. I was giving the most gifts I've ever given to in my life. Christmas gifts were so fun to pick out because I could buy them the things that they needed and would truly use. Yeah.
Go to school, university, or how much is it? Matter of fact, don't worry about it. Send me the bill. Here's some more. Boom, again. Boom, hold that. I pay for my sister whole school shit.
You don't see, I ain't got it like that. I pay for my sister's law school applications though. Right, I can't pay for her law school. I ain't got it like that. But I pay for all of her applications. Right, because that's what you do for the people that are around you. Get another lawyer on your roster. Yeah, be careful. If you had fair, none of you would. 100% I would. Right? If I fell into like freaking millions of dollars, the first thing I'm doing is I'm paying off all of my family's student loans. All of them. Right? Because like student loans be crazy. That's step number one. Right? And I think most people would. I think most people, specifically talking about in the Black community, like that's like it's become a meme, right? that like people fall into a little bit of money. Black people fall into a little bit of money, and they buy their entire family new cars, right? They pay off the parents' house, their mortgage, right? Because it's like I have a lot of criticism of the Black community, but one thing that we do is we take care of our own. Like that's the shit we do, right? Not saying other communities don't do that, but like that's how I was raised, how I was taught, that's how I grew up, right? But I also learned that when you are doing well, there are going to be people who come around with their hand out, expecting something, right? And I say, I think my mom is too nice to some of those people, right? They will demand your labor. They will demand your time, your energy, right? They'll demand stuff for you. But like when you were literally grinding, if you will, when you were at your lowest, they weren't there. Radio silence, right? A good example of that is like with streaming. Like I brought Grimlow to the streamer wars with me because Grimlow was there for me from the jump, right? Instrumental for me getting to the streamer awards. And so I made sure that when I had my +1, I was bringing Grimlow with me, right? And I would do it again because that's how I was raised, right? You look out for the people who looked out for you. That's what you do. Grimlow, you're Sakura. Chill. Falling into money and suddenly all these long lost faces in the family get together. Yeah. Was it 2023 Streamer Awards? It was, yes. I think. I'm pretty sure.
He running around parading shit. My little brother just graduated high school. I bought him some shit. I'm about to leak. Let me not leak. Hold on. Let me not leak, bro. Hold on. Damn, son. He do good at school? I got you. Hold that. Boom. You want to go to what school? Okay, how much money? Oh, shit. I bet. I got you. Send me the bill. Don't worry about it. Go focus on your school shit, my nigga. Boom. I got you. Hold that. My mom needed some shit. Hold that. Niggas know my pop. I don't understand why we even gotta entertain shit that don't, bro. I don't even, come on, bro. This is a different type of person you speaking to, Maud. It's not regular, nothing regular about me, Maud. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully.
And I will say, even if he wasn't doing this, I completely believe him, right? I think he's completely genuine in this, right? But even if he wasn't doing this, even if he didn't do this, right? This happened with Extra Emily. You don't know their situation, right? You don't know who just crawled out of a hole asking for a little bit of change. You don't know that. You don't know these people. You do not know. Right? You don't. And so try to position it to being like, oh, well, Phantom doesn't take care of his family. What happened with Emily? People were like criticizing Extra Emily because they were like, oh, Extra Emily is like not paying back her parents for their tuition, and she's not taking care of her family. It's the same thing. Extra Emily is not taking care of her family. It was the same thing, right? But you don't know these people's relationships. You don't, right? Again, I think it'll be like a little bit different. Like the Kai situation is a little bit different, where Kai came out and he was just like, I'm not giving any of my homies any money, right? They got to stream for themselves or whatever. Like that was a bit weird. I get what he's trying to say, but it was still a bit weird to be like, you know, like you're 100 millionaire. That's a bit strange, right? Also, that's like your friends. But like when it comes to like putting on like family members, especially with how much they make you, like, come on, man. Yeah. Her parents are well off though. I don't know like the intricacies of the Emily situation, but that's, people were saying the same thing then as well. Right? But like, it's just such a weird thing to entertain.
Even play those type of games, bro. Everybody near me that is doing shit, you know what I'm saying, is getting situated. We don't little bum ass niggas that want to come around a situation and leech. We don't deal with shit like that, chat. Nobody, you heard? I built this shit. Brick by brick. I done said this shit a billion times. You can't expect niggas to fuck with you and you leeching off niggas, fam. I do this shit, fam. I'm him. I'm Sharvey. It might sound a bit condescending.
My parents would actively refuse taking money from me even if they joked about paying it back for wasting school. I agree, right? Which is why it's so crazy to bring this in this way, right? But like, the problem is when the cousin himself comes out and saying like, oh, Phantom's not taking care of the family, right? He hates the people in the family. He ain't taking care of us. Like, at that point, I'm not surprised he responded.
But I'm him. I changed my whole situation. Me, nigga.
You showing the Gen Z Change thing? I'll put it to leftover server now. I'll send it here when it's up. We'll take a look at it.
I see.
But there's also a second video, which I wanted to see. His cousin is mad for him keeping it real.
Talking about I don't situate my peoples, this and that, all this other extra shit. Let me tell you something, bro. I don't support bum ass niggas, bro. I don't support bum energy.
I'm not no bum, nigga. That's the thing, though, nigga. I'm not no fucking bum, nigga.
You a bum.
I'm not no fucking bum.
I don't even know.
I'm not no fucking bum. I work fucking hard for my shit, nigga.
I seen some shit.
Okay, I'm genuinely curious. Where does bro stream? Where does bro stream? I need to know. What is his name again?
I live like a capitalist every single day, Shank. I live as a
Digital Trap GM.
I live when I believe.
Polygon_.
Because he said he works for. He streams on. You know what? I'll let you guess. I'll let you guess where he streams, chat. Yep. Yep. He has 30 followers on Kick. Make that a sub notification. Honestly, you're kind of cooking on that, chat. You're kind of cooking on that. Let me check Twitch. Wait, stream charts. Let's see. Maybe he was banned. We know he has a Twitch. He was last live He was last live 18 hours ago. He has 135 followers. Bro's talking about, I'm not a bum. I worked for this.
Shit going around. Talking about I don't situate my peoples, this and that, all this other extra shit. Let me tell you something, bro. I don't support bum ass niggas, bro. I don't support bum energy.
I'm not no bum, nigga. That's the thing, though, nigga. I'm not no fucking bum, nigga.
You a bum.
I'm not no fucking bum.
I don't even know.
I'm not no fucking bum.
That's so funny. Oh, that's comedic gold. Wait, he's just playing. Okay, I was looking at this in a second. He's just playing like Legends of Zelda.
Pieces on me. Shout out to them niggas, bro. Niggas are going on TikTok and putting think pieces about what's going on. Niggas is going on YouTube doing fucking little vlogs and episodes on what's going on. I'm watching everything, bro. I'm seeing it all happening behind before my eyes, and bro, it's insane, bro. It's fucking insane to even see. This is insane to see fucking happen, bro. I've never seen anything like this happen. Ever. But I guess this is what it is. This is what it means.
Bro, there's like 5 minutes between different comments. He's talking to himself.
One of Phantom's little fanboys, right, nigga? Don't ever disrespect the fucking island, nigga. I put that shit on the flag, nigga. I put that shit on the flag, fuck, nigga.
Until proving, innocent until innocent.
Don't
income.
Oh, someone said he's not black.
Fuck, nigga. Dead ass, nigga. Dead ass, nigga. If that's what you wanna, if that's how you wanna go about it, my nigga. I'm one of the realest niggas you gonna meet, my nigga. Ain't no clowns over here, bro. Dead ass, nigga. Dead ass, nigga. Real nigga shit, bro. Nigga say you Buggy the Clown. You not black, buddy. Nigga, I'm Dominican. Shut your bitch ass up, nigga.
That
Get your ass out of here, nigga. Fuck, nigga. Niggas got who the fuck these niggas are, bro? Who the fuck these niggas are, bro? Where the fuck y'all from, bro? Where the fuck y'all been at these last few years? This ain't the 1800s, buddy.
In terms of income.
It's because they're What is he talking about? Also, yes, now I have to show you. Thank you. You already had it ready. Now I have to show you.
I know black. I know black. I know black. Imposible. I know black. I'm Dominican. I'm Puerto Rican. I know black. Be looking just like me. Be having the same hair. I be touching you like, it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same, papi. It's not the same. They try to salsa that shit off. I be like, no, it's not the same. I know black. Negro nunca, nunca. I know no, nunca. I know black. I'm like, no, you black. No. I know black. Dominica. I go, I know, but you're black. No, papi. I know black. No, black.
Olivia, thank you for the 4-month resubscription. And Polygon Primitive, thank you for the 7-month resubscription. Have you seen this story? Smash Bros. Maoist struggle sessions are beginning. Is what I think it is. I saw this person saying like, yeah, I don't want you in my Smash space if you're a conservative. I did see that. Anyway, okay? That's the Phantom situation where he says, "I'm not a bum. I'm not a bum." Okay, where did he say that? I need to. Okay. He's just reacting to clips of him. To be fair, I do that as well.
Like that, bro. Who's out here fucking pouring his heart and soul?
What?
See, bro. Damn, bro. How do y'all not niggas feel bad for a nigga like that, bro? How do y'all not feel bad, bro, with a nigga, bro? I'm putting my heart and soul out here, bro.
He's saying, why do you not feel bad for me? He's saying, why do you not feel bad for me?
My nigga, silly rabbit, big dog.
Indeed.com. Stop.
How y'all niggas don't feel for a nigga like that, bro? Who's out here fucking pouring his heart and soul? And then, of course, we got the one from Dubs. And then we went again. We went back to back, nigga, because that's how we move, nigga. We went back to back. Another M right here, nigga. 19 hours ago, nigga.
Bro, he's flexing, getting posted on a clip channel, and it getting 1 million views. But it only got 9,000 likes. Like, they're not supporting you. They're laughing at you.
How do you not feel bad for a nigga who breaks down like this, nigga? A nigga that really pours his heart and soul into the streaming shit, nigga. A nigga like me.
Okay. I feel like this is I feel like he's trolling, bro. It feels like he's trolling. Cause like, what do you mean?
Who breaks down like this, nigga? A nigga that really pours his heart and soul into the streaming shit, nigga. A nigga like me. I'm not no bum, nigga. That's the thing, though, nigga. I'm not no fucking bum, nigga. I'm not no bum, nigga. I'm not no fucking bum.
Okay. When he says the N-word, you know what it sounds like to me, chat? It sounds like when Lil Pump says the N-word. It has the same like intonation. Not like Drake, right? But like it sounds like Lil Pump. Mario Judah? No, Mario Judah sounds like a freaking Klansman. But yeah. Okay, when I hear Lil Pump say it, yeah. Here. We won't watch this entire thing because this is I already went over it, but Shut Up Black needs your help. Let's make this community a force for good. Going over the fight stuff. Oh, okay, actually there's one last thing. Right? And there's a lot of attention right now. And if you actually want to do me a solid, chatters, right? If you actually want to support me, this is what I want you to do. I want you to mosey yourself down to this website here. gz4c.org/fight. He has 89 followers on Twitter. Yeah, he went up. He had 70 before. Right? For the organization that I work at, Gen Z for Change, we have this very handy tool. If you go to H, hold institutions accountable. If you hate ICE, I don't like ICE. One's in the chat if you don't like ICE. True. As in like immigration enforcement. See, if you also don't like ICE, right? You might not have known that Hilton, Marriott, Choice hotels in Los Angeles are housing ICE, allowing ICE to conduct their raids. Right? Now, twos in the chat if you think that that's unacceptable. See, that's a lot of twos. True. I too think it's unacceptable. Right? And so if you want to support and put pressure on these hotel chains, right, to push for them to end their collaborations with ICE, it's a very simple thing. gz4c.org/fight/H, or you can scroll down on the main page and click on Hotel Action. If you have an iPhone, right? If you have an iPhone, you just click download the shortcut, and it's an iOS shortcut you can download. You can set up an automation to automatically send emails to hotels and the corporate offices for these hotels to get them to stop housing ICE. True. I'll talk about this for a while. I'm so long-winded. I need to be more concise. First Raven 2, I went to the bathroom, watched the VOD chatter. That's what the YouTube videos are for. That's true. But yeah, if you want to do me that solid, I would appreciate it. I did have some of the pauses and it was you ducking on Canadians. I kind of want to see the Canadian dunk. Okay, I want to see that. But yeah, then I go into the Android part as well. I want to see the Canadian dunk. I think it's funny. Like, you know. And yeah. Get involved as well. Which actually I didn't get this at all. Hey, join an organization. Because you were Canadian for some reason and couldn't get sued. How dare you? That's crazy. Why is it crazy? Because that would be freaking Canadian. How dare you? How dare you? True. Why is it underscore version of the H3H3 Productions? It was like it went H3 Snark to H3H3 underscore Productions and then H3 underscore Production, yeah. And then left over H3. Also, I want to show you this as well. Left-wing grifter, Arbiter Skyward, posted clips talking about conservative Smash players and how they're not welcome in the community unless they closet on their beliefs. And they're trying to dock the mods. That's why, yeah. Still trying to, but
wants to take away women's rights. Every time I hear fucking conservative niggas that play Smash be like, "Oh, so much for being inclusive." Yeah.
Watching you for a few weeks, taking notes because I want to start streaming too and want us to reflect in real time. But how to improve your presentation is inspiring. Thank you. I try. Good luck, chatter. I wish you luck.
Fuck you and your yeah. So much for that, nigga. Fuck you. I don't want to be in a community with niggas that voted my rights away. I don't. You're not gonna vote for a nigga that wants to get rid of fucking trans people, and that wants to take away women's rights, and take away DEI jobs. And I'm supposed to sit down and fist bump you in friendlies? No, nigga, fuck you, bro. I don't want to fucking be around you. It's so annoying because they'd be like, oh, I thought the left was supposed to be inclusive. We are. Two niggas that also want to be included. Yeah, what's up, Wheezy the Cloud? If you want to be included, and if you want to be inclusive, we will we want you. The second you're not inclusive, you gotta get out. You gotta get out. Oh, and hey, if you are conservative and you play Smash, that's cool. That's cool. You gotta shut the fuck up, though. You gotta shut the fuck up. You can't say shit. I want to hear about your politics. I want to hear about, oh, Trump did this. I want to hear about, oh, the Bible says, shut the fuck up and play Klein Falcon, bro. Shut the fuck up and play Klein Falcon, bro. Oh, you got hit off stage, bro.
Okay, I heard you being sued. Where did you hear that from, chat? I haven't heard anything about that. What? That's crazy. They don't want to be here anyway. Why are they crying? Because they're crying because they feel like they're oppressed. They're like, you're oppressing us by saying that our hateful views are not welcome here. You know? Is he a Twitch streamer? He seems chill. I think so. Yeah. He does seem chill. Based and correct.
Hi, my name's Arbiter Skyward. If you're watching this video, I'm not live right now. If you want more info on me, check out my About Me page down below. I don't have...
Yeah, he does anime gaming stuff. But also he had a mod in this clip named Confused Lefty, so I wasn't necessarily surprised when this take came out. But sure. He's getting a lot of hate. He's getting a lot of hate from conservatives, but like he's completely right. He's correct. I think this is how we should treat conservatives in the in any space if we're being real. Like you're kind of just not welcome. You can you can be welcome if you just shut up, you know? But this is not a space for you to be hateful, outwardly hateful towards people. There's only one left-wing grifter and that's BB No Money. That's crazy. BB No Money is just a tad bit cringe, just a little bit. I saw BB No Money at a TwitchCon actually. He walked right by me. I didn't say anything though. I was just like, "Who's that guy?" He is also Canadian, so gross. He's dumb, but I think we would need to teach conservatives rehabilitative justice. Like, you can change and become a better person. Yeah, but you're not going to do that at Smash, you know? You're not going to do that at a Smash tournament. The goal with what he's saying here is just it's a protection for the people who are, oh, Mabel Takes, what's up? Hello, that's crazy. What is, you know, that's, anyway, it's, it's a protection for the people at the communities, right? This is a problem that I had with the Mango situation, right? A lot of people cover the Mango situation only for just how rehabilitated the Mango could be, right? Like they'll see Mango facing a little bit of consequences for his actions, right? And immediately people jump to, oh, well, he can be rehabilitated, right? Like that should not be like the first thought in the mind of society because it still centers the perpetrator, right? I think rehabilitation is important, right? But it should be first and foremost, how can we support and help the victims? Right? We shouldn't be projecting rehabilitation onto people. Right? We need to be better about that. Because I saw that a lot. Because a lot of it came down to, oh, I hope Mango gets his life together. I hope Mango gets his life together. Instead of like, okay, how can we support the victims? What do they need? And then after that, okay, now let's make sure Mango doesn't operate in this way in the future. You know? I'm just trying to get in the mind of the conservatives. But yeah. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover, actually. This was funny, seeing this guy. This. Oh, there's also this I didn't talk about. It's not alleged pirate server did attempt to DMCA takedown of an indie Steam game. Idol streamer Bonanza. I can't read. Bonanza. Because the dev made a bait post on Reddit implying that he added a parody of pirates shown below into the game. Not only is this a blatant abuse of DMCA to protect his bruised ego, the version on the Steam hadn't even been updated to include this parody, a fact that neither pirate nor his alleged on-staff lawyer bothered to check before sending the DMCA through. This is pretty funny. To be fair, he wasn't DMCA'd for this Roach thing. Specifically, he was DMCA'd for like the voice line that was in the promo. Right? And so he DMCA'd the game because of a voice line of his that was used in the promo of the update. The update wasn't pushed live. His voice was never in the game at all, but he jumped out immediately and was like, oh, take this down. How dare you? So, yeah. Have you saw this story? I did see this story. Oh, this was crazy, bro. Time for the real hard-hitting questions. MGen or Jakara? Honestly, I was full on the Jakara train, right? Until I saw that Emily clip, and I'm just like, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Jakara insists upon itself. What, Emily clip? If somebody has the clip, we can take a look at it. Is it MGen? MGen is the ship name between Emily, Extra Emily, and Agent. It's Extra Emily and Agent's ship name. But yeah, U.S. officials forced to share Ball JD Vance meme by denying tourists' claim that he was denied entry over photo. DHS does not deny strong arming tourists into letting them into his phone, only that agent sent him home because of a meme. This is the meme. Bro, if you're traveling to America, okay, also, my apology to Connor Dog Virginia. I said he's white, so he probably wouldn't have to be worried about not getting into the US. But if he had a anti-JD Vance meme, he genuinely might not be in the US right now. So, my apologies. I overestimated how stupid America was. Or underestimated how stupid America was. Press that button 5 times on your phone to disable biometrics. Or just hold it. You don't have to press it. You can just hold it as well. Hold the power button and the volume button. Right? hold that for 5 seconds. And then it'll pop up with like this. And if you see this, then you're fine. Pressing this faster, it may be more conspicuous if you're just like, you know what I mean? Trying to freaking like rapid click the home button. But it's a lot simpler if you just slip your hand in your pocket. You just grab the size of your phone and you basically just squeeze it. You can also squeeze it through your freaking pants or whatever. That's what she said. But like, just kick your phone, you just like squeeze it alongside as you're being approached by somebody, it'll lock your phone down. Here, we'll see the Emjin clip. Extra Emily was drunk and her real feelings for Agent finally came out.
I'm gonna put an end to it once and for all. Well, not an end to it. I miss Agent and I wish he was here. You happy with that? Okay, great. That's all I had to say. And I will see you guys in the next one.
You know what this reminds me of, chat? You know, I love this new era of Twitch. It reminds me of like Hori Mia. It reminds me of like watching like a romance anime. Right? But like in real time. It's adorable. Should I made her say it? It's so obvious. No, that's not actually what happened. What actually happened was like, chat was like, say you miss Agent. And so she was like, okay, I'm going to address this. Right? And I do miss Agent. So chat didn't make her say it. She said it all on her own.
I'm gonna put an end to it once and for all. Well, not an end to it. I miss Agent and I wish he was here. You happy with that? Okay, great. That's all I had to say. And I will see you guys in the next one.
That's adorable. It's adorable. Yeah, it's so hard not to be parasocial. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying my best not to be parasocial. So anyway, that's happening as well. Sorry. The chatter said she talks about Agent like Sean talks about his new air fryer. That's so funny. I do. All right, chat. I'll say it. I miss my new air fryer and I wish it was here. Okay? Is that what you want to hear? Is that what you want to hear? That's so funny. Ugh. It's just so far away from you. It's literally right over there. And I'm about to use it as soon as I end stream. I'm going to make another pizza. Actually, maybe I'll make wings. Buffalo wings. Oh, yes. I'm so ready. I'm so ready. Okay. Anything else, chat? Any final thoughts? I do have to go. Apparently, I'm getting sued or whatever. So I gotta go deal with that. It's Soupy out here. Thank you for the 14 months. And EJ Ackroyd, thank you for the gifted sub. Any final thoughts? Are you being sued? Apparently. Even Klein is suing me. I feel like, okay, one more time. 50 Cent meme. Where is it at? Where is it at? I don't know where it is. 50 Cent meme. Yeah, in the same year as Black History Month. In the same month as Juneteenth. How dare. How dare. Woke up, I look at, or do you have the money? I'm gonna fuck your mom, chatter. Got him.
The computer
Woke up, I look at the computer say, Floyd said, fuck T.I., fuck Nelly, fuck 50. I'm like, what did he say fuck me for? Woke up, I look at the computer say, Floyd said, fuck T.I., fuck Nelly, fuck 50. I'm like, what did he say fuck me for?
True. Oh, he ends up like the Liver King? What, being arrested for threatening Joe Rogan's life? All right, that's fair. That's just what an insane story. I didn't talk about that. Maybe I'll talk about that tomorrow. What an insane story. I saw a tweet saying that I said Ethan is suing half of the black people he knows. True. You know, he got arrested? Yeah, no, he got arrested. Emmett Lion Blue would be speaking to the Liver King. It's calling to him like the Green Goblin mask. Why does Liver King know Joe Rogan and vice versa? Liver King went on Joe Rogan. Free him? No, don't free him. Keep his tail in jail. Keep him in jail, please. Don't free him. Do not free that man. Free my king? No, don't free him. I'm anti-freeing him. And anyway, thank you for watching, chatters. I appreciate you all. What do my camera feel like it's not framed correctly? It should be more like this way. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Long live the monarchy. Sure. Any final thoughts, chat? Anything else you want to say? You are a true abolitionist? Not for the Liber King. Not for the Liber King. Not for the Liver King. Gotta redo the new stream. Go now, true. Awesome. Peace, YouTube. Thanks for watching. If you want to chat and want me to read your hate messages, you gotta send it to me on Twitch. I don't read YouTube chat. I apologize. Adios.